Good evening and welcome to a night of baseball with the Evansville Otters. We're back in Marion, Illinois for Game 2 of a three-game series. It's the Evansville Otters taking on the Southern Illinois Miners. With Preston Linebox and Claude Felter, I'm Jevin Redmond. Thank you so much for joining us on the Otters YouTube channel. Evansville trying to even up this best-of-3 series as they dropped the opener last night 7-0. Otters have now gone 4 straight games in Marion in which they have not scored a single run. With last night's result, Evansville now 50-34. The Miners at 48-37. The Miners just 2.5 games back of Evansville. Florence still a game and a half back of Evansville with 12 to go for the Otters. Preston, last night, tough one for Evansville. It was the middle innings in which the Miners did their damage and the offense never got on track.
Yeah, it started out as a game where for Evansville you thought maybe the first 3 innings things were going to look promising, at least keeping it close. Riley O'Reilly got off to a good start matching with Westcott in those first 3 innings, and then all of a sudden it just the script changed for some reason. I don't know exactly the reason behind it, but in those middle 3 innings, the Miners just took off, and Evansville just didn't have an answer. The rest of the way, only 4 total hits last night, and then again just going basically 1, 2, 3 the rest of the way in those last 3 innings.
Tonight's starting pitching matchup for Evansville, right-hander Austin Grossman. This will be his 13th start of the season. He's 2-6 with a 4.31 ERA. Over 73 innings, he's walked 19, struck out 81. On the other end is Chase Cunningham, another right-hander. He's 5-4 with a 3.09 ERA, making his 15th start. 84 and a third. He's struck out 78 and walked 25. I'll come back and set the lineups and have first pitch. Otters at Miners from Marion on the Otters YouTube channel.
We love our kids and want them to be healthy. After all, a healthy child can make for a happy child. That's why Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield offers health insurance for children up to age 18 at low or no cost. From doctor visits to dental care, Anthem is here to put resources at your fingertips and simple solutions within your reach. And that is something to smile about. Call 1-800-403-0864 to enroll today. To learn more, visit anthem.com/inmedicaid.
Getting ready and keeping fit for baseball season is hard work. That's why you'll find Evan at Bob's Gym. Getting fit, having fun, being an Otter. Be like Evan. Try a free 3-day pass at Bob's.
Fix up your home with Heritage. Our home improvement financing options can help you change your home now and pay for it over time. Upgrade your home. Make home repairs. Remodel a kitchen. Build a new deck. Add a new room. Remodel your bath. Update appliances. Whether it's a small weekend project or a large renovation, Heritage Federal Credit Union can help you finance your improvements today. Fix up your home with Heritage.
Time for baseball from Marion. The Otters and the Miners, Game 2, this 3-game series. Let's set the lineups for Evansville. They're 50-34, leading off and playing third base, number 1, Gary Mattis. Hitting second and playing second base, Josh Allen. Jeffrey Baez bats third. He'll be in left field, followed by Riley Crane, the first baseman, hitting fourth. J.R. Davis bats fifth. He's the DH, followed by Miles Gordon in center, hitting sixth. Elijah McNamee, the right fielder, bats seventh. Then it's Justin Felix doing the catching and hitting eighth, followed by Andy DeJesus batting ninth and playing shortstop. The starting pitcher is right-hander Austin Grossman. He is 2-6 with a 4.31 ERA. Mattis, Allen, Baez, Crane, Davis, Gordon, McNamee, Felix, and DeJesus. For the Miners, they're 48-37. Brian Flette leads off and plays second base. Nolan Early hits second. He's in right field, followed by Ariel Sandoval hitting third. He's the DH. Jamie Smart bats fourth. He'll play first base. And then it's Jared Meng batting fifth in center field. Ian Walters hits sixth. He'll play third base. Anthony Brocado in left field batting seventh. Arturo Nieto hits eighth and does the catching. Yeltsin Godinho bats ninth and plays shortstop. The starting pitcher is Chase Cunningham. He's 5-4 with a 3.09 ERA. He's a right-hander, and again behind him it's Flete, Early, Sandoval, Smart, Meng, Walters, Brocado, Nieto, Godinho. With that, it's time for our first pitch. Digging in is Gary Mattis, and on the first pitch, he drills one up the middle for a base hit. On pitch number 1 of the night, it's 7:06. Good start for Evansville.
And as Brandon Taylor would say, Jevin Redmond and Preston Leinenbach, there goes the no-no. First pitch swinging, being aggressive, and when you've been shut out in 4 consecutive games at Rent One Park, you kind of have to take an aggressive mindset coming into at-bats.
How about that? 4 straight games in Marion. Obviously not, 4 consecutive days, but back to their last series a couple of weeks ago. Did not score the entire series, not last night as Allen digs in, and he is well on the first pitch. A swing, he pops it up foul, first base side, strike 1.
I'm just glad I wasn't on the call last night, so it wasn't a Zane problem. So at least it continued in my absence.
But we did have a Zane cloud filter type of game, though, if you saw the time of game last night.
Yes, I was quite pleased with that, but not the result.
What was that time of game?
It was about 2.5, a little less.
Can't ask for more in Frontier League baseball.
Mm-hmm. There's a pickoff attempt at first base, and Mattis is back in safely. Allen hitting .423, he's 11 for 26 since joining the Otters 2 weeks ago. 2 home runs and 7 RBIs. And here's a pickoff attempt, and the ball gets away from the first baseman Smart. That will allow Mattis to make second base safely. And a man in scoring position here early on.
You have Chase Cunningham on the mound, Preston, and this is a guy that if you're going to get to, you have to get to him early before he settles in. This is a big runner in scoring position with nobody out to start the game.
Giving away the leadoff hit, plus the error right there, I would assume that Evansville is chomping at the bit just to get a hold of mistake by Cunningham in the minors.
Here's a breaking ball high to Allen. The count is 1-1. Again, Cunningham making his 15th start. 5-4, 3.09 ERA. He's worked 84 in the third innings. Struck out 78, walked 25. The 1-1 pitch to Josh Allen is headed home, and a breaking ball is pulled left side. Third baseman Walters gobbles it up. He slings it across the diamond and takes care of Josh Allen. Not a productive out, 1 away.
And that's disappointing, too, because runs really have been hard to come by for the Otters at Rent One Park. And Marion, it would have been nice if it would have been hit anywhere else than the left side of the infield to advance that runner just 90 feet away.
For the Miners, they have Brocado in left, Meng in center, Early in right. The infield consists of Walters at third, Godinho at short, Flete at second, Smarts at first, and Nieto doing the catching for Chase Cunningham. The one-out batter is Jeffrey Baez, Otters left fielder. He's hitting .386, 17 for 44, 6 home runs, 11 RBIs. The pitch, a breaking ball and a swing and a miss.
And for Mattis, again, with that leadoff hit, after a hit last night, one of the 4, he has pushed his on-base streak to 18 games. And that's now getting high enough where it's really noticeable among the Otters lineup.
He leads off second base with 1 out. Pickoff attempt to second, and that throw nearly got away as well. There's a conversation going between Mattis and also Flete, the second baseman. I'm not sure what happened because the camera was late getting back over. Not sure if there was some type of collision or interference. Now Andy McCauley sprinting like a base runner out there to argue with our umpire.
Now they're going to talk about it, Jevin. So did they call him out? Well, but he said safe when the camera finally switched over. Maybe obstruction, perhaps, and they're trying to give him third base?
I wonder if the ball went into center and then they got tangled up, or if there was some type of obstruction with Mattis trying to get back to the bag.
I wouldn't say that it went to center field because we saw Cunningham's reaction kind of running off the mound like he's ready to back up a throw. So I bet you're right there that a ball went in the center and there might have been obstruction with Mattis trying to advance to third base.
Which would be great for Evansville to have. Again, as I just mentioned, it would be nice to have that runner 90 feet away with an out so that sac fly could produce a run and break this scoreless streak in Marion.
You wouldn't mind taking just the break in itself,
right.
Going the Otters' way in Marion.
Preston Childers, Danny Walker, Tom Swoboda are 3 umpires tonight, and they are still chatting just to the left of the pitcher's mound.
Good to see Tom. I haven't seen him at Bosse Field in quite some time. He used to be a regular back in the early 2010s decade.
Andy McCauley standing right next to Mattis at second base, hands on his hip. And the conversation is over, and it appears Mattis will stay at second base.
And Andy didn't look happy. There's Jeffrey Baez. He's... Man, I'd love to know what was going on. So it's a calm conversation between Andy and our three-man umpire crew.
You can tell Andy's being a bit firm with what he's saying, but he's not, super animated or anything.
Right.
Andy normally is very firm in conversation.
He is.
And when it comes to instances like this, you don't question really the knowledge of the rule book for Andy McCauley. He knows the rules pretty well.
He had all of 2020 to, sit at his house in New York and read up on the Frontier League protocols and just rules of baseball in general.
His argument didn't work here as Mattis asked to stay at second base with one out. The count's 0-1 on Baez, still here in the top of the first inning.
And not only just with the basic rules of baseball, but also very aware of the rules of the umpiring of where they should be positioned on certain plays.
So Baez waves the bat over home plate as he digs back in. The right-hander Cunningham. The runner takes off toward third. A breaking ball is a strike. The throw to third, and out at third base is Gary Mattis. Caught stealing 2-5.
You kind of saw that coming, that Gary Mattis was going to try to go. The Otters, one advocating for him to get to third to begin with, and then stealing on the first pitch, but just a great throw by the catcher there to nab him.
And Mattis has stolen third base a few times already since joining the Otters ball club. However, I don't know if the catcher Nieto is the right guy to run on because he's one of the best defensive catchers in the Frontier League.
Counts 2-1 on Baez. That was almost like, one of those frustration fouls you take in basketball when you're mad.
Right.
I think Mattis was just upset and he was going to swipe third, but I don't have a problem in swiping it, but maybe to wait a pitch or two so you got a better read, because that time he just took off whether he got a good jump or not. Anyways, the inning quickly fizzles as Baez bounces out to second base. Flete throws him out, so Evansville, the guy at second base, nobody out. They do not score. After one half inning, Otters nothing. Miners coming to bat in Marion on the Otters YouTube channel.
Before you danced the first dance. Before you walked down the aisle. Before the tables were set with care. Before you penned a single invitation. Before the day that went beyond your wildest expectations. There was the little green box from Brinker's Jewelers for befores and happily ever afters.
If you're looking for a liquor store in Evansville, look no further than Liquor Locker. The Liquor Locker has the best selection at the best prices, including the largest craft beer and bourbon selection in the area. Our friendly and knowledgeable staff will help you find the beer, wine, and liquor you need for any occasion. And check out the fine selection of cigars at all Liquor Locker stores. Liquor Locker is now open Sundays 12 to 8 p.m. and offers citywide delivery. Visit one of our 10 conveniently located stores in the Evansville area today. There is always something for everyone at the Liquor Locker.
Otters can't scratch across the run, top of the first inning, so here are the Miners at the dish. Bryant Flete, Nolan Early, and Ariel Sandoval. against Austin Grossman, the right-hander from the set position. Delivers. First pitch, low ball one to Flete, who's batting .288. Still looking for that first home run. He's driven in just 2. With Zane Clodfelter, Preston Leinebach, I'm Jevin Redman. Glad you could join us on this Wednesday evening. Beautiful night for baseball, and I was telling Preston as we were walking in the Bossy Field doing this game remotely, is like, it is September baseball, and it feels like September baseball. Starting to cool off, no humidity. It's been wonderful.
Especially with the 3 best teams in the Frontier League all residing in the West in a pennant chase.
2-0 pitch to Flete. That's in at the knees. Called a strike, 2-1.
It's crunch time.
Mm-hmm.
You have to start winning. You have to get on a run, and for Evansville, the time is now.
Counting this game, 12 games left, right?
Right.
11 after tonight.
Fortunate for the Otters last night, Florence taking the loss to Windy City, so they were able to pick up a game on their magic number, despite losing 7-0 to the Miners.
The Fighting Onions came through last night.
But if you're Evansville, you don't want to count on the Fighting Onions to bail you out.
Windy City's one of those weird teams. Jordan and I were talking about last night how they have played well against the good teams.
That's just a weird ballpark, though.
And not so well against the teams below them in the standings.
Flete whacks a 3-1 pitch to the second baseman, Josh Allen. That's an easy out. 4-3 on the putout.
Because it's Ozinga Field now, right? It used to be something different.
Zinga or Gazinga? What'd you say?
Ozinga, right?
Ozinga.
Yeah, Ozinga Field, but it's not uniform. So one side has multi-levels, but it's really old school where it's not flat. It's more right on top of you.
One out batter is Nolan Early, their right fielder. Hits from the left side, a breaking ball right down central, called a strike.
Ozinga Field reminds me of like the old Polo Grounds, how it was just really tall and right up on the field, where newer ballparks are more, I guess, fan-friendly.
It's got a nice view, though, of the city.
Yes, it does.
From the south side of the town, Chicago.
Here's a pitch. Below the knees, check swing. Third base umpire says no swing, too early. The count's 1-1.
Superfan Nick Drake in attendance. He was there last night as well. You know he's going to be there for the stretch run of the regular season.
Is he going to Schaumburg, too?
That'd be a great question to ask.
Ground ball to second. I'd pick on someone else. Allen gobbles it up and throws out early. 2 outs, both to Josh Allen.
If only we knew that, we could have had him as a special correspondent and somehow worked him into the broadcast. Preston could have made it work.
Give him a wireless microphone.
Little satellite dish and monitor. We have that technology here at the Otters now, thanks to Preston.
So 2 outs, and here's Ariel Sandoval. He's batting .339 for the Miners. 2 home runs, 23 RBIs. Righty on righty, takes his time digging in. Shares a laugh with the home plate umpire. Now we're ready as Grossman hoping to work a 1-2-3 first. The pitch. Breaking ball. Strike call, knee high. It's Baez in left, Gordon in center, McNamee in right. Mattis to Jesus, Allen, Crane around the infield, and Justin Felix does the catching. Grossman 2-6 with a 4.31 ERA. From the letters comes set and the 1-strike offering. Breaking ball low and outside.
Really good breaking ball pitch, and doing public address for the University of Southern Indiana for as many years as I've had. I've seen Austin Grossman before he was wearing an Otters uniform, and that's really one of his best pitches, that breaking ball.
1-1 pitch. Inside, backs the right-hander Sandoval off the plate, 2-1. What year did he graduate from USI?
This year.
This year, really?
I saw him this spring, and then I see the transactions. I'm like, I wonder if that's the same guy. Yeah. It is.
2 balls and a strike on Sandoval. Breaking ball inside, 3-1.
And he was one of the recipients of the GLVC Pitcher of the Week honors this spring. So USI maybe didn't have the Tracy Archuleta expectation year that they're accustomed to having, making the NCAA tournament, but Austin Grossman individually and Jacob Bowles as well really pitched well, and that's why they're in the Frontier League.
Here's a 3-1. Ball 4. Too low to Sandoval on a fastball. Oh, wait, he called that a strike? Oh, no, it is ball 4. The batter turned around and looked at him. Thought maybe it was called strike. It was very low. A 2-out walk, and Sandoval is on base.
You mentioned Jacob Bowles. He had another solid long relief outing last night.
Yes, he did. 3 1/3, right?
Yes, and now he's pitched in his last 3 appearances over 12 innings,
Mhm.
1 run. I mean, that's just outstanding stuff, and his strikeout numbers have gone up, and he hasn't allowed a walk in his last 5 appearances, so he's really made a good adjustment here in his last few outings.
Fastball right down the middle to Jamie Smart, Miners' first baseman, hitting .246, 3 home runs and 21 RBIs.
I was checking myself. I'm glad you said yes, because that's what I put in my Otters update on WJPS and WYFX this morning. Just the facts.
Here's the 0-1. That clips the corner, 2 strikes on Jamie Smart. I don't remember this guy the last series playing. Was he hurt maybe, Jamie Smart?
They acquired him last week before the deadline.
Okay.
Yep.
So he's their Josh Allen.
And he's playing first base, which instead of now being Luke Mangieri, which is probably the name you remember most.
Pitch is low, and swiping second base is Sandoval.
Which Mangieri was the former Bradley Brave. He is now with Joliet. That's where they sent him off to.
So where did Smart come from, do you know?
He's been around the Frontier League, mostly I believe with Joliet and Windy City.
Because it mentioned in the stats that he had 21 RBIs this year, so I figured he was with someone else.
And for Luke Mangieri, he has to like it being in Joliet, being the Peoria guy, a little bit closer to home. Except now out of the playoffs.
Pitch outside to Smart, 2-2.
So he can kind of just coast to the end of the season in Joliet, though he can play spoiler.
We'll see Joliet here next homestand.
So we'll see him again. Had to talk to him about his relative Nick, who was a defensive back for the Hoosiers.
The 2-2 is a foul. Back to the screen. With Sandoval at second base, 2 outs, no score in the first inning. Rent One Park in Marion, Illinois.
Yeah, last week before the deadline was probably one of the more active deadlines in terms of staying within the Frontier League. Normally you see a trade between the Frontier League and the American Association, or vice versa, or the Atlantic League even. Not so much. It was mostly within the league.
Curveball fouled off.
And a big reason why is the Atlantic League typically goes a lot longer in the regular season than the Frontier League does, but because of COVID and the implications of that, our season got pushed back a little bit, so perhaps that gamesmanship was lost.
Yeah, because normally, for the teams that are out of it, for sure by this point, they're sending their best guys up to the Atlantic League to give them an extra month or so of high-level baseball.
The 2-2 is driven out toward left center field for a base hit. Around third is Sandoval. Here comes a throw in from left field. It is not in time. The Miners strike first on a 2-out RBI single from Jamie Smart. 1-0 Miners.
And the Miners early smelling some blood here in the waters. It's 1-0. You have Chase Cunningham on the mound, one of the best pitchers in the Frontier League. And Austin Grossman's had some good stuff this year. He struggled a little bit recently, but this is only going to add, I guess, somewhat to the pressure for the Otters having this early deficit here in the first inning.
And really, that last pitch wasn't a terrible pitch. It looked like it was down, maybe just a little bit more over the middle of the plate than he wanted, but he kept it down, and he's done a good job of that for the most part with that breaking ball, too, here in this inning, which has kind of been the Achilles heel for Grossman his last couple times out, especially last week at home.
On the first pitch, Jared Ming skies it into short right center field, backing up as a second baseman Allen. He makes the catch for out number 3. So a 2-out walk, a stolen base, then a 2-out RBI hit from Jamie Smart. After 1, Miners in front 1-0 on the Otters YouTube channel.
Cheer up, Evan. This rain will be out soon. You should download the 14 First Alert app and see for yourself. You can see what's coming up to 7 days in advance, or you can break it down hour by hour. Check out live radar so you can see what's happening in real time. And you can watch 14 News live directly from the app. See, there's nothing to worry about.
Stay in the game with the 14 First Alert app.
Welcome to a place that feels like home. A place that cares about all of you. Built to help you grow in more ways than you could possibly imagine. To make new friends, travel new paths, soar to new heights, and deepen your spiritual experience. Welcome to Oakland City University.
Centerpoint Energy's newest generation of safe, efficient energy includes capturing and harnessing the natural power of pure sunshine. We are increasing solar in our balanced and reliable energy mix as we power our region with more clean, renewable energy. We're bringing a little piece of the sun to every home and business while reducing carbon emissions and helping create a cleaner environment. It's just a little something for your smart energy future.
Top of the second inning, Miners lead at 1-0 as Riley Crane digs in. Fourth place hitting first baseman. The right-hander Cunningham delivers, and a bouncing ball up the first base line. It is foul. First baseman Smart played like it was fair. It was very close, but the first base umpire with a late call says foul. Strike one.
And sometimes you got to do that just to kind of put the pressure and the onus on the man who is manning first base. And tonight that is Danny Walker, as you've already mentioned.
Which we haven't had him too much this year.
Yeah, I don't recognize the name now. Preston.
I know we've had him in the past. I think we've had him maybe once or twice this season.
Yeah, Preston and Tom we know about, but not Danny.
Yeah, cousin of Larry Walker. Here's the 0-1, a ground ball to the right side. Into the shift. Tough play for the second baseman. He bobbles it. And safe at first base is Riley Crane, as Flette was playing way out into right field and had to charge that ball, try to backhand it. Couldn't handle it. Safe at first base is Crane.
And don't worry, fans, your stream on the Otters Digital Network is not buffering and repeating itself. But, hey, a leadoff batter. Let's see if the Otters can take advantage.
I'm assuming that's an E4, right? Is that what they ruled it?
I would assume so. I would hope so.
I'll check on that. They might give him the benefit of the doubt of the hit being so deep in the hole. But
Well, because I wondered if is Crane very fast?
It's an error.
Error, okay, yeah. So E4, but leadoff man is on. Here is J.R. Davis, the DH, hitting fifth, batting .303, 7 home runs. And righty on righty, 0-1. Bounces in the turf, blocked by the catcher Nieto. 1 ball, 1 strike.
And for Davis, he had a 13-game on-base streak going into the series. He had that snapped last night, as the Otters not only had just 4 hits, they didn't draw a single walk last night.
Fly ball into left center field, sinking quickly for a base hit. Going first to third is Crane. The throw into third, and it's not in time. The Otters have first and third with nobody out here in the second after an E4, and now a single from J.R. Davis.
There you go, and the Otters with runners at the corners, and I mentioned this in the first inning as well, that run, the tying run now, and the run to kind of snap this skid scoring-wise in Marion for the Otters, just 90 feet away, and you have a guy in Miles Gordon that's been hot of late, and Miles the last weekend was batting in the 9th spot, Preston. Now suddenly he's batting 6th behind Davis.
And I don't think for him batting in the 9th spot was a knock on him and his performance. I think
second leadoff man.
Basically, a guy who would turn the lineup card over, because now that you had the additions of the past week, you have more depth to your lineup. You can move guys around like Gordon with speed, and of course we know basically the ability to get on base as he did at the top of the lineup for most of the season. So yeah, you just bring a guy at the 9th spot who could turn the lineup card over back to the top.
First pitch was high and tight to Gordon. 1 ball, no strikes. First and third, nobody out. Cunningham delivers a 1-0 pitch, and a breaking ball is cut on a miss from Gordon, who is hitting .254 with 3 home runs and 31 RBIs.
And he batted leadoff so much, I'm still used to wanting to say the Edward Jones leadoff batter of the game for Miles Gordon.
Godinho and Flette squeeze the middle for that ground ball, hoping for a double play. They'll trade 2 outs for a run. Snap throw by Cunningham to first base, and Davis is back in safely.
Honestly, with this stretch with the Otters at Rent-One Park, I too would trade a double play just for a run.
Good point. The 1-1 pitch to Gordon. That is a called strike. That bottom part of the zone has been called on both sides. That was below the knees, though. The count's 1-2.
Be curious to see where the third baseman's playing, because Gordon would try like a little drag bunt here. Now with 2 strikes, I'll say that's not the option, but.
So 1-2 on Gordon. Otters trailing 1-0, top of the second. Sparse crowd this evening in Marion.
A lot of cars in the Menards parking lot, though, beyond center field, though, I could see.
People saving big money tonight.
Getting that 11-cent rebate.
John Menard would be happy.
Get as many items as you can into the one bag.
Yep. My parents love Menards. Well, my dad loves Menards in Evansville.
1 ball, 2 strikes. The pitch, breaking ball inside, nearly Cliff Gordon. Counts 2-2.
My family's the same way, especially my uncle, but he moved to Florida a couple years ago, and the one thing he hated about it, there's not a Menards down there.
So I think for my mom, if she wants to just shop and walk around in a store, it's Target, and for my dad, it's Menards.
My uncle would go right when they open at 6 a.m. or whatever it is.
2 balls, 2 strikes on Miles Gordon. Man at the corners, nobody out, and a ground ball hit to the right side, foul.
Something way out of left field is, Menard used to manufacture their own engine for the Indy 500. They were prevalent in the mid-90s, and the Menard engines were always extremely fast, but as proven through multiple races, very unreliable. So they were always the quickest for qualifying, but they were always the first to blow up the day of the race. And still involved in racing, the Menards are.
Cunningham would like a strikeout here on 2-2. Gordon takes inside. It hits him on the shoulder. So he'll take first base, and they are loaded with nobody out for Elijah McNamee.
And Preston, you're going to have to correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like the last time the Otters were in Marion, the previous series, they had a couple of situations like this where they had the bases loaded with nobody out and failed to score.
That is correct.
Not to rehash bad memories for all of us, but
not tonight. They're going to come through right here.
Just stating facts with Preston's confirmation.
McNamee batting .306, 7 home runs, 40 RBIs. He's hit at the top of the lineup. He's hit at the bottom of the lineup. He's hit in the middle. Tonight he's batting 7th. And the first pitch to him. On the corner, good location, strike 1. If the Otters don't score here, I think that we should just pack it up and head home.
Preston, what do you think? Can we do that? Are we allowed?
McNamee has 40 RBIs on the season. Calmly waves the bat over home plate. And the right-hander Cunningham from the letters pitches. Breaking ball is bounced up the middle. The shortstop charging. His only play is to first base. He throws high, but in time. A run does score. The Otters are on the board. It's now a 1-1 game, and also they have second and third with 1 out.
And the Otters scored a run in Marion. The first time. This is their 5th game. Trying to avoid a 5th straight game being shut out at Rent One Park. And look at that.
Yep, the first run at Rent One Park since all the way back in late June.
When I was doing the game with Ryan Brown, actually in Marion at Rent One Park. I remember that run.
It was a slow chopper off the bat of McNamee. Godinho had to charge. Only play was to first. No chance to get anybody else. And so the Otters still set up well here. Second and third, 1 out for Justin Felix. Felix takes a fastball that zips by him on the corner, strike 1.
And emotionally for Evansville, this is the time to kind of pile on here. As you mentioned, runners at second and third. There's only 1 out, a base hit here, and you suddenly have a lead against Cunningham, a pitcher that really has had a lot of success against Evansville so far in 2021.
Cunningham glares in, has a sign he wants, and the 0-1 to Felix is hit foul. I think it clipped him on the ankle. He's in some pain, 0-2.
And regardless of what happens here for the Otters tonight, I'm sure pretty thankful this is the last time they'll have to face him this year. He won't pitch tomorrow, and then the Otters won't see him the rest of the way, and obviously won't see him in the playoffs with only the division winners making it.
So now they're tending to Justin Felix after he grounded that pitch foul off his ankle.
So some Sarah Zirk action here.
Yeah, she made an appearance last night. Had to assist Ryan O'Reilly on the mound with his spectacles.
Well, that's not good.
Looked like just had to do some tape work on the specs.
What's her story? Where's she from?
She's actually the athletic trainer for Oakland City University.
Okay.
I don't know where she's from before that.
She's originally from Aurora, Illinois. Spent 1 summer as the AT for the Schaumburg Boomers.
Okay. Championship year for them or no? Does she have a ring or no?
I mean, I don't remember what year she was up there. Let's see what I find.
Schaumburg, it's hit or miss. They make the playoffs, and they're probably going to win the Frontier League Championship, which is why them being in first place and the other half of the conference in the Midwest of the Frontier League, it's a little daunting because Evansville faced Schaumburg most recently in 2017, losing 3-1 in that Frontier League Division Series.
She was with the Boomers in 2016.
So not the year they won the title, because Evansville was too busy winning the Frontier League Championship that year.
That was the year before because they won in 17, correct?
They did, because they beat Evansville 3-1 in that division series the following year.
Well, Felix stays in the game. He appears to be okay. Behind the count here, 0-2. And the pitch, low and outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Somewhat surprised they went outside, because remember when you foul off your ankle, they go right back inside on you. Last thing you want to do is foul another one off your ankle. We'll see if they go inside now here. 1-2 on Felix with the runner at third base, Davis. Gordon at second base. A 1-1 game here in the second. Catcher sets up outside again. Breaking ball right down the middle. A tad too high. 2-2.
Man, I thought that was a breaking ball on that inside half. I thought it was enough to catch a little bit of the plate.
Two-two pitch. Felix pops it up down the right field line. First baseman moves over and watches it go out of play.
There might be more people at Bosse Field currently than at Brentwood Park. And we say that, and there's not a Barry Global. Of the last time I was here for a remote broadcast, there was at least a picnic happening in right field. No, it's us.
Yeah, I believe the attendance last night for the game was above 800.
898 I saw. I always check.
It's tough to fill the midweek games.
2-2 pitch. Breaking ball. Check swing. Did he go? No swing. The count's full. 3-2 on Felix.
But according to their uniforms with the paw prints, it must be another Bark in the Park night there in Marion.
That's right. It's Wednesday.
That's a good point.
Because it was Wednesday when we noticed and had the conversation last time.
It's like, is the washer broken in Marion?
Payoff pitch coming to Felix. He's been a long top the second inning for Cunningham. And he paints the corner knee high. Strike 3 is called. Felix tried to sell it and flip his bat thinking it was ball 4. But that was a perfect pitch by Cunningham. 2 outs.
If you're Felix, you really don't want to do that and flip the bat, especially when the next half inning you're going to be squatting in front of the man who just rung you up.
Yeah, as the catcher, that's a tough little action to take, but it's consistent with what we've seen so far. The high strikes are not being called, the low ones are.
So if you're Felix, you should know better because you already have a general sense of the zone better than really anybody else because you're catching it.
So it's up to DeJesus to pick up Felix with 2 outs. Otters like more than just 1 run out of this inning. And the pitch. DeJesus shows bunt, pulls back, and takes low ball 1. DeJesus batting .306, 3 home runs. He's driven in 30. Crane reached E4. Davis singled. Gordon was hit by a pitch. The McNamee and RBI ground out. Felix struck out. 1-1 game, top of the second. Second and third, and the 1-0 pitch to the Otters shortstop, DeJesus. He hits it into left field. The ball is sinking quickly, and not quickly enough, as left fielder Brocado comes in and makes the catch for out number 3. Otters strand 2. They do pick up a run, and after 1 1/2 inning, it's the Otters 1, Miners 1 on the Otters YouTube channel.
Every 6 minutes, a utility line is damaged due to reckless digging. So Indiana relies on these 811 superheroes. Derek the Builder.
I dig for a living, but I always contact 811.
Mary the Gardener.
Before I plant a tree, I contact 811.
And Mike the Contractor.
I contact 811 before I do my work.
Prevent damage or injury. Call 811 anytime or go online 811now.com. This message is sponsored by the Indiana Utility Regulatory Commission and this station.
Come be a part of a nationally recognized program in criminal justice. The Criminal Justice Program at Oakland City University provides students with in-depth knowledge in the fields of law enforcement, forensics, corrections, and juvenile justice. Learn through hands-on experiences and train in areas of investigative forensics, criminology, and police administration. A career-focused major is in your reach and all in a Christian university setting that feels like home. Oakland City University.
Game tied at 1. Home half is second. 6, 7, 8 batters up for the Miners, and we see Ian Walters, their third baseman, digs in from the left side. And Grossman's first pitch to him is low ball 1. Walters batting .292, 3 home runs and 43 RBIs. And the 1-0 pitch to him is hit to the right side. Josh Allen has been a busy man tonight, and he has recorded all 4 outs for the Otters. 1 out here in the second.
I'm glad we got a second baseman in our acquisition.
I'm glad we got that guy.
I'm glad Andy remembered to put a second baseman into his lineup.
Yeah, if he'd forgotten, the Miners would still be hitting, in the first inning. Here's Anthony Brocado, hitting 7th tonight, batting .287, 15 home runs, and 53 RBIs. First pitch from Grossman to Brocado. Breaking ball runs away from him, way outside.
53 RBIs. Anthony Brocado, one of the big reasons why the Miners are just 2.5 back of Evansville.
The 1-0. Inside, 2 balls and no strikes.
The Miners are an interesting ball club when you look at the numbers offensively. They're not really an explosive club when it comes to the home run power. They don't steal a lot of bases.
But they have good pitching.
They have good pitching and defense as well. They don't commit a lot of errors. They just tend to forget their batting order sometimes.
They do, which a home run derby was decided because of that in Evansville's favor earlier this season, as a lot of us know.
You know what would be crazy is if we get down in the season and let's say the Otters beat out the Miners by 1 game.
I'll remember that very game very well.
Because that's the thing. I mean, they messed up in the second round of the batting order when they got off to such a good start in that home run derby in the first round.
And that was a series where the Otters swept the Miners here.
In 4 games, yep.
In 4 games.
3-1 pitch, a big swing and a miss from Brocado, and I think Grossman thought it was strike 3. Nope, it's strike 2, and the count's full.
I did as well, so it must be a Screaming Eagle problem. Jevin's a Screaming Eagle, but he knew the count.
They didn't teach us to count to 3. I learned on my own.
I learned at Stockwell Elementary.
Payoff pitch to Brocado. Nobody on, 1 out here in the second. And that is outside ball 4. Just missed with it. Second walk in the game from Grossman. So it sets up a situation with 1 out, 1 on for Arturo Nieto, the catcher. Hitting .241, 1 home run and 14 RBIs.
But like Yadier Molina, he's not there for the offensive production. He's there for his defense. And as we saw it there in the first inning, throwing out Gary Mattis at third base, he has quite an arm.
Yeah, but that average, that's a nice steady climb from when we saw them last at Bosse Field. When they were last year, he was just around, the Mendoza line.
Which Preston can tell us the exact Mendoza line number.
210.
210, not 200 like everybody thinks it is. It's 210.
Why is that?
Because that's the number he actually hit.
He actually was a 210 career hit.
Was it? No balls and a strike on Nieto.
He right just goes with 200 because that's like the even number, I guess. So.
And I agree.
Pitch is inside, 1-1. So can you refer to it as the Mendoza line if it's 200? I mean, is that incorrect then technically?
I mean, most people do it anyway, so
yeah.
Just pop culture has unofficially made it that.
And I never really took notice of it until Sam Jelinek brought it up in 2018.
Future Hall of Famer Sam Jelinek.
Pitch outside to Nieto. Count is 2-1 with Brocado at first base and 1 away.
His birthday cake. Still immaculate that his mom, all the way from Pennsylvania, ordered and had delivered. It was made by an Evansville company, Gala Cake, right?
Gala's, yeah.
Yes, sorry.
Yeah.
2-1 is bounce foul. Third base side, it's even now on Nieto.
That was a couple of year run where Gala Cake was our official cake provider and cupcake provider. Oh, they still are? Then where have the cupcakes been this season? We would celebrate everything with Gala Cake.
Yeah, we still have their banner down there, their sign.
Then can we have a cake for our next homestand or cupcakes? They're legit, Jevin.
I don't know. I guess that'd be. I don't know if that's Keith's, Joel's, Brittany's. I don't know whose client that would be.
Because Kristen Hall used to be the person in charge of ordering the cupcakes because she was the party coordinator in 17.
Flaine Arniz is the fulfillment manager.
You know, we've talked about 2016 with Jordan and I being back and on the field. You've got Schultz and Allen. I think the key, though, is this final week for the homestand. One of the games, as Nieto strikes out looking 2 away, we have to get some White Castle up here one of the nights. the warmest night of the week, we should get some White Castle.
I'll pass.
And keep the windows closed so the flies stay away, because that's an inside story. Yes. A fan did a very nice thing and got us a whole crave case of 30 White Castles, but literally brought it on the hottest night in August, and the windows were open. So after 5 minutes, we had all the flies in Evansville.
Here's Godinho, the shortstop, batting ninth. Breaking ball bends in for a strike.
Now, if that same fan brings the traditional trademarked cookies that she would make, that would be welcomed by some of the press box, but not the White Castle. They also brought Taco Bell one time that year, too. That was a little bit better.
Big swing and a miss by Godinho. Had him out in front, and it's quickly 2 strikes on him.
The best part, though, is in doing all these kind deeds for us, that fan ignored the signage at the ticket booth that said no outside food or drink per Frontier League rules.
0-2 on Godinho, who's batting .250. Pick off attempt, and Brocado is back in safely.
Which, ironically, Deputy Commissioner Steve Tassler breaks every time he comes to the ballpark, because he, too, brings an outside food or drink.
He was here today with his dog. I believe Mickey is the name.
Met his dog earlier at Bark in the Park Day.
This was a different dog. He has multiple dogs.
What?
Yeah, he has like 3 dogs.
Him and Jody staying busy on the northeast side of town.
0-2 pitch, breaking ball, knee high, strike 3 is called, and Godinho is out number 3 here in the second inning. Miners get a 1-out walk from Brocado after 2. Otters 1, Miners 1 on the Otters YouTube channel.
We love our kids and want them to be healthy. After all, a healthy child can make for a happy child. That's why Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield offers health insurance for children up to age 18 at low or no cost. From doctor visits to dental care, Anthem is here to put resources at your fingertips and simple solutions within your reach. And that is something to smile about. Call 1-800-403-0864 to enroll today. To learn more, visit anthem.com/inmedicaid.
Getting ready and keeping fit for baseball season is hard work. That's why you'll find Evan at Bob's Gym. Getting fit, having fun. being an Otter. Be like Evan. Try a free 3-day pass at Bob's.
Top of the third and top of the order for the Otters in a 1-1 game. Gary Mattis digs in. And he drives one deep down the left field line, hooking toward the pole. It's a fair ball, and it hops up off the foul pole. That'll be a double for Mattis. And a good start in the top of the third inning for Evansville as Mattis is 2 for 2, a single, and now a double.
And a Deerhead double-decker double to start off this third inning.
I'll be honest, I don't think I've ever seen a ball bounce up and actually hit the foul pole like that.
Threw me off because by the time the camera went there, I saw it hitting off the foul pole. I thought it was a home run right down the line.
So for Mattis, his 8th double of the season, he's in scoring position. Deja vu like the first inning, guide second base, nobody out. We'll see if Josh Allen can have a productive AB and at least move him to third.
And he's a guy that you want to have at the plate with a runner in scoring position.
Pitch to Allen, breaking ball in the turf, ball 1.
With this game being in Marion, I just curious if our good friend Clay happens to be there.
Clay Roth.
And not emceeing, but just there as a casual fan.
The 1-0 pitch is a strike, 1-1.
Where he's always an Otters fan, no matter, even though if he does work and live over that way.
He could have been our correspondent. We talked about Nick Drake. I mean, Clay
would be a great correspondent.
He would, based on our press box conversations pregame.
Here's the 1-1 pitch. Allen hits the ball out towards center field, a base knock. Mattis had to wait to make sure it dropped. He'll stop at third base. It's a single for Allen, first and third. Nobody out, top of the third of a 1-1 game.
And I'll give Clay Roth some credit. We see Boots Day on our monitor a couple of weeks ago. I had Clay, I gave him the Otters TV camera to document the Boots Day celebration that we had, 55 years, 56 seasons in professional baseball. And Clay Roth did a fantastic job capturing everything. Much appreciated for myself, and I know Preston Leinenbach as well.
Yeah, it's such good quality. You can take a screenshot and use it as a photo.
True story.
Here's Baez, first and third, nobody out.
When no photos,
swinging a foul.
When no photos are available, you make do with what you have, and
to document the moment.
Clay Roth hooking us up.
Baez bounced out to second his first time up. Otters have Mattis at third, Allen at first base, nobody out in the third inning. And Cunningham delivers. Outside fastball, 1-1.
Trying to get him to chase there. And he should know better for as many times as Chase Cunningham has seen the Evansville Otters. This is not a team that's going to try to expand that zone and whiff.
So there's a few Otters fans who made the trip behind the Evansville dugout. One of them wearing the same shirt you're wearing, Zane.
Did you give it to her?
Behind the dugout once they go back to that side camera.
I forgot who gave me this shirt. You can buy it, I think, still in the gift shop.
Hey, there you go.
I did not give them that shirt.
2-1 on Baez. Look out here, the pitch. Breaking ball. Swing and a miss. Good pitch by Cunningham.
We'll say that you probably got from your good friend Rhonda Trail, the Otters Den team store.
My good friend Rhonda Trail. Misty's also working there this year with her kids here at the ballpark. It's a whole family affair.
Two-two pitch for Baez instead of pickoff attempt at first, and Allen's back in safely.
Misty did get offended earlier this year. She's like, am I not your good friend? Because I would always say my good friend Rhonda Trail and Misty, so now I have to say both of them are my good friends to make everybody happy. And it's true. I love both.
The 2-2 to Baez, a breaking ball hit to the left side, and it finds a hole. Infield single for Baez. That scores Mattis from third base, and Evansville has a 2-1 lead.
You see Jeffrey Baez and just the muscular frame that he has, and you think power hitter, but he can also leg out some infield singles as well if it's hitting the right spot.
Here's a diving play by the shortstop Godinho, kept it on the infield, but never made a throw, and that's RBI number 12 for Baez. 2-1 Evansville looking for more. With first and second, nobody out, and Riley Crane digs in. Crane reached on E4, leading off the second, came around to score the Otters' first run. And the pitch to him is a swing and a miss.
And Jevin, the FrontierLeagueTV.com scoreboard for you. Bottom of the third at Ozinga Field in Crestwood, Illinois. Florence and Windy City, they're tied at 1.
No balls and a strike on Crane. The pitch outside. Other scores for us?
Other scores for us include Lake Erie leading Joliet 1-0 in the third. That is in Joliet, Illinois. Schaumburg is shutting out Gateway 9-0 at GCS Ballpark, bottom of the fourth.
Here's the 1-1 to Crane and a high fly ball into shallow center field. Trotting in is Jared Mang. He finds his spot. Camera tries to find the spot as well, and he makes the catch. One away.
A couple other scores for you. There's two others on the other half. The Can-Am Conference, top of the sixth. In Canada, Sussex County on top of I Keep Quebec, 4-3, again, top of the sixth there. And then top of the third at Wild Things Park, it's Washington shutting out New York, 4-0. The FrontierLeagueTV.com scoreboard update for you, Jevin.
First and second here with one out in the third, a run home, and J.R. Davis digs in. Breaking ball in the turf, blocked by the catcher Nieto.
You know, I think yesterday there was one or two postponements on those games up northeast because
the remnants of Hurricane Ida.
Yep, looks like there's one more today as well.
Ruining Frontier League baseball and for one of my good friends, Bonnaroo Fest this weekend with his girlfriend down in Tennessee.
The 1-0 pitch to Davis. Swing and a miss, counts even, a ball and a strike.
But really, in Evansville, the remnants of Ida just fell to the south and to the east. Now, Tell City and then eastward towards Louisville and Cincinnati, they got some of the remnants of it. But for Evansville, we could see the clouds, but for the most part, avoided the rain, which is really rare considering most of those Gulf systems wind their way to Evansville before it's all said and done. As a pitch there misses now 2-1, and a chance for the Otters here with still only one out to add some more to this tally here in the third.
2-1 pitch to J.R. Davis. Breaking ball is lined hard back to the pitcher off his glove. Cunningham goes to third and gets a lead man. Fielder's choice, 1-5. That was just a reaction from Cunningham. Tough luck for Davis as he hit it hard right back up the middle. And there's still 2 on, 2 out.
And the umpire asked Chase Cunningham, are you okay? Because it ricocheted off of him. I think he's good enough mentally because he had the frame of mind and the presence to throw to third to get that lead runner, which is a crucial out for them, considering if he would have tried to scramble to throw to first, most likely the runner would have been safe.
It went off Cunningham's top of his glove, never hit his body. Almost made the catch if he would have made the catch, which was all just a natural reaction. It would have been double play. But does get the lead man, and there's first and second, 2 outs for Miles Gordon with the Otters in front, 2-1.
Sure would be nice to add one more run if you're Evansville here to give Grossman a little bit of run support.
Yeah, I think the thing that stood out was, I mean, the deflection off the glove, but Cunningham knew exactly where that ball went off the bounce or the deflection. Usually that kind of play happens, you're kind of searching around 360 trying to find the baseball.
Good field awareness.
The 1-0 catches the inside corner on Miles Gordon, who is hit by a pitch his first time up. Counts even, a ball and a strike. Gordon batting .254, 3 home runs. He's driven in 31.
And Preston did mention there was one game postponed. That was New Jersey at Tri-City. So right there on the East Coast, dealing with the rain.
Swing and a miss. A ball and 2 strikes on Gordon.
And postponed games on Wednesday in the Frontier League aren't bad because you know you can always have the doubleheader the next day. But it gets to the point where it's getaway day and you have bad weather. As Florence has already experienced out east for a previous tropical storm, sometimes it can bite you.
And that's important for Tri-City. They're in the running for the division yet.
The 1-2, a swing and a miss. The ball gets free from the catcher, Nieto. He pounces on it and throws to first, and Gordon is out on the strikeout. Completed 2-3, ending the Evansville top the third. They pick up another run. RBI single by Baez. Scores Gary Mattis. And after 2.5, it's Evansville 2, Miners 1 on the Otters YouTube channel.
Fix up your home with Heritage. Our home improvement financing options can help you change your home now and pay for it over time. Upgrade your home. Make home repairs. Remodel a kitchen. Build a new deck. Add a new room. Remodel your bath. Update appliances. Whether it's a small weekend project or a large renovation, Heritage Federal Credit Union can help you finance your improvements today. Fix up your home with Heritage.
Before you danced the first dance. Before you walked down the aisle. Before the tables were set with care. Before you penned a single invitation. Before the day that went beyond your wildest expectations. There was the little green box from Brinker's Jewelers for befores and happily ever afters.
Miners bat in the third inning. Otters have a 2-1 lead. Miners scored a run in the first. Otters got a single tally in the second and the third. And it's the top of the order up against Austin Grossman with Zane Clodfeldt and Preston Leinenbach. I'm Jevin Redmond. Bryant Flette digs in. There's second baseman. He bounced out to Josh Allen at second base, leading off the Miners' first inning. And Grossman's first pitch is headed home. Low ball 1.
The Otters giving Austin Grossman the lead. This would be a great opportunity, Preston and Jevin, for a shutdown inning. That's how you win the pennant. That's how you make the playoffs, is shutdown innings after your team scores.
Flette with an exaggerated open stance. The 1-0 pitch is low ball 2 from Grossman. He has walked 2 tonight. One in the first, one in the second. The first walk came around to score. Jamie Smart with a Miners RBI single with 2 outs.
This stance stretches all the way from Marion to Evansville, Indiana.
Covers that entire batter's box, yeah. The 2-0. Low ball 3. He wouldn't walk the leadoff man, would he?
I don't know, would he? Good old Mike Shannon. 50 years of broadcasting. I'll miss him.
Grossman has to climb the ladder here on 3-0. Ball 4. He walked leadoff man in the third. The third walk from Grossman tonight.
He did walk the leadoff guy. Old Abner right on duty.
So Flette's on, and it brings in Nolan Early, the right fielder, who bounced out to Josh Allen at second base. His first trip to the plate. Early with some pop in that bat. He has 10 home runs. He's from Anderson, Indiana. He does not have an open stance. Even stance and the pitch. Breaking ball. There's a strike from Grossman.
And I brought it up in previous broadcasts we've done remotely. Have you been to the Anderson, Indiana Wigwam?
I have not, no.
Before they temporarily shuttered it, the structure still exists, but they don't use it as of now because there's a big fight over expenses for operational cost.
The 1-strike pitch, breaking ball. That's on the inside corner. A check swing from early, but the ball was a strike anyways. 0-2.
Now, right now, if you Google biggest high school gyms in the United States of America, the Anderson Wigwam will be in the top 5.
Well, you said Google now, so I will.
Yeah, you'll see Anderson up there. Newcastle, I still think, is the largest in the country, just shy of 10,000, where Steve Alford famously played for the Trojans. Now make sure it doesn't say active gymnasiums because, again, Anderson, the Wigwam hasn't been used for a couple years, but they're trying to bring it back, a select few trying to campaign for it and vouch.
0-2 pitch, breaking ball low to Nolan Early.
Yeah, there's just a lot of great basketball venues in the state of Indiana, top to bottom. Some in Illinois as well. There's a few.
What's your favorite to referee in? Zane, do you have a favorite?
Yes, I do.
Here's the 1-2 pitch to Early, and a swing and a miss. He went too far around on a slider down and inside. And for Grossman, that is his 3rd strikeout tonight.
My favorite is Huntingburg Memorial Gymnasium because the referee locker room is in a tunnel and you walk out, and the way the lighting is set up there, when you're in the zone and you're actually refereeing, you can't notice the fans. The only thing you can really see is just the playing surface and the players and the bench. Yours?
Yeah, that's up there. I wouldn't say it's my favorite.
Plus, they always take care of us, too, with hospitality.
Oh, yeah.
With the pizza after across the street.
From Gaslight?
Yes. Walt Ferber's favorite.
First pitch to Sandoval is fouled off right field line. 0-1 with a runner at first base and 1 out. But no, I agree. It's fun to walk out that locker room. I still remember the first game I ever did there, varsity-wise. I think you were there. They were playing Heritage Hills.
Yes.
And at the time, it wasn't technically for the conference, but it was a big conference game, fairly decent crowd. And at the under 3 timeout, once everyone goes back in and comes back out, they play the Hoosiers theme song. I'm like, okay, this is what Indiana basketball's about.
You can't beat that nostalgia.
Here's the 0-1, a swing and a miss to Sandoval, 0-2. I'm trying to think what my favorite is. You're going to laugh, maybe, but one of the more enjoyable gyms, when you get a packed house for a varsity game, the band, it's loud, they're on top of you. I really enjoy working at North Posey, actually. It's a good atmosphere to work in.
Modern Day's a runner-up for me.
Yeah.
Just because of that old school feel and the acoustics make it so loud.
Also, too, like refereeing, there's certain floors that just feel better than others, and North Posey's has some spring to it. I also enjoy Heritage Hills' floor. It has some bounce to it. Yeah, I don't know if I can necessarily pick out a favorite, but that's a couple I enjoy.
Now, my favorite gym of all of Southern Indiana is Adams Coliseum, which the Alice's still use on occasion. They play 1 or 2 games there just for the old school. There are actually chairback seats, the first 5 rows, all the way around the permanent seating at Adams Coliseum.
No balls, 2 strikes on Sandoval. Swing and a miss. The ball gets away from the catcher, but first base is occupied. And making it up to second base is Bryant Flette. He's in scoring position with 2 outs. That's back-to-back Ks for Grossman and 4 on the night.
And Preston Leinenbach is a product. I went to Evansville Harrison. Preston Leinenbach went to Evansville North. And for a couple of years when he was in high school, my favorite gym in the city of Evansville, no longer active, was at the Old North, just literally, I think, a mile away from Bosse Field, if that.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites. And, of course, about every year, the Courier kind of does a little article story on it. And
yeah, trying to save it. It's just sitting there.
Yep, just sitting there. And
I do enjoy Boonville's gym, too.
And it's kind of built the same way as North's was. It's just Boonville's, I think, has more rows. And both with Boonville, with Old North, with Huntingburg Memorial Gymnasium, they're built into the ground. So from the outside, you don't assume it's a big high school gym because it's sunk into the ground.
Kind of has like an old field house type
feel. Yes. So the top row is ground level.
Count is 1-1 here on Jamie Smart, the Miners' first baseman, batting with a man at second base, 2 outs. Otters leading 2-1 here in the third.
And now my understanding is those type of arenas that Newcastle's also the same type. You can't build those in 2021 anymore because it violates the American with Disabilities Act.
Yep. A lot of stair laps at the Old North.
No.
Smart, tall left-handed batter, waits patiently in the batter's box as Grossman and Felix agree on a pitch, and the 1-1 is bounced to the left side. The third baseman gobbles it up Mattis, and he throws to first for out number 3. Leadoff walk to Flete, back-to-back strikeouts, and a ground out to third after 3. It's the Otters 2, Miners 1 on the Otters YouTube channel.
If you're looking for a liquor store in Evansville, look no further than Liquor Locker. The Liquor Locker has the best selection at the best prices, including the largest craft beer and bourbon selection in the area. Our friendly and knowledgeable staff will help you find the beer, wine, and liquor you need for any occasion. And check out the fine selection of cigars at all Liquor Locker stores. Liquor Locker is now open Sundays 12 to 8 p.m. and offers citywide delivery. Visit one of our 10 conveniently located stores in the Evansville area today. There is always something for everyone at the Liquor Locker.
Cheer up, Evan. This rain will be out soon. You should download the 14 First Alert app and see for yourself. You can see what's coming up to 7 days in advance, or you can break it down hour by hour. Check out live radar so you can see what's happening in real time. And you can watch 14 News live directly from the app. See, there's nothing to worry about.
Stay in the game with the 14 First Alert app.
We're back, and on the first pitch, the top of the fourth inning, a slow ground ball. The shortstop Godinho off the bat of McNamee up and over an OUT, one away. McNamee is 0 for 2. Did drive in a run with the ground out his first time up. So 1 pitch, 1 out for Chase Cunningham in the fourth. Otters leading 2-1.
By the way, if the playoffs started today, so today the playoffs started, Tri-City, who's a game up in the Atlantic, would be playing Sussex County, who's a game up in the Northeast on the Can-Am side. And for the Midwest side, it'd be Schaumburg, 6 games up in the Central against Evansville, 1.5 up in the West.
And the Otters would go to Schaumburg for the first 2 games, and then the series would shift back here for 3 games, of course, if necessary, after the third. Playoffs start on Tuesday, September 14th. So the Otters would get weekend games at Bosse Field. Do you think that's more of an advantage for the team that gets the first 2 at home or the last 3 at home?
I don't, because the time of the year, you have high school football on Friday, college football Saturday, and then the NFL is already going to be underway on Sunday.
Well, I meant more so just from the structure of, okay, the first 2 games are on the road if you have the better record. I mean, is that really an advantage, having the last 3 at home? Because if you go on the road and lose the first 2 games on the road, then you have to win 3 straight.
That's a good question. I know as the pitch is fouled back, I know the premise of why they want to give the team with the better record the final 3 is because they want that team to be rewarded with the weekend dates.
Sure.
Where I think in Evansville, at least our market at least, we would be more successful drawing people midweek where there's not all those distractions of the Hoosiers, the Boilermakers, or the Colts on the weekend.
Mm-hmm. Plus high school football's big on Fridays.
Exactly, especially here.
2-2 pitch, cut on a miss as Felix strikes out for the second time tonight, 2 away.
I mean, high school football, local TV stations here in Evansville, there are 30-minute shows dedicated just to high school football highlights on Friday evenings. And then plus you're in Big Ten country. I mean, that's a big deal. And then the Colts, the Titans, the Bears, there's NFL fans here galore.
You know, we talk about Indiana being a basketball state, but when it comes to high school, I mean, football Fridays are almost bigger than basketball Fridays anymore.
They have in terms of sponsorship and publicity and coverage. Jevin, you know very well, also working and broadcasting and covering high school football, as I do on the newspaper side.
Yeah, from advertising, I mean, football is much easier to sell. I don't know if that's because there's fewer games, so you're not paying as much money, and also it's an event. You know, it's every Friday night, where basketball, you might have a Tuesday game or a Thursday game wedged in there somewhere. Swinging a foul here by DeJesus. The count's even 1-1 as Cunningham is trying to work a 1-2-3-4.
I mean, growing up in a bigger urban area, you'd be surprised with how much people care. You know, where my parents are from, Vincennes, and rural communities, I mean, it's even a bigger scope because of the entertainment value.
Trying to bunt is DeJesus. He pushes it up the first baseline, but it skips foul.
As my parents would tell you growing up in Vincennes, I mean, you'd look at the Alice's schedule for football and then basketball as well. My dad played football for the Alice's, but, you know, for basketball season, the only social gathering was the boys basketball game for the Alice's, and for my parents, that was a pretty good thing to go to because their junior year, Vincennes Lincoln won the single class state title with Gunnar Wyman as head coach in '81. As my dad would say, #1 in '81.
1-2 on DeJesus, who flew out to left his first time up. Nobody on, 2 outs in the fourth. Cunningham from the wind. The overhead wind and the pitch upstairs, 2-2.
And of course, people in Evansville who are listening, Gunnar Wyman, the father of Orlando Will Wyman, who later was a longtime head coach for Evansville Harrison, my alma mater. But his dad, a legendary Hall of Famer in high school basketball, both at Lincoln and Tell City prior to that.
2-2 pitch is popped up. Left side of the infield in foul territory. The third baseman, Ian Walters, calls for it, and he has it for out number 3. It's a 1-2-3-4 for Chase Cunningham. After 3.5, Otters 2, Miners 1 on the Otters YouTube channel.
Welcome to a place that feels like home. A place that cares about all of you. Built to help you grow in more ways than you could possibly imagine. To make new friends. Travel new paths, soar to new heights, and deepen your spiritual experience. Welcome to Oakland City University.
Centerpoint Energy's newest generation of safe, efficient energy includes capturing and harnessing the natural power of pure sunshine. We are increasing solar in our balanced and reliable energy mix as we power our region with more clean, renewable energy. We're bringing a little piece of the sun to every home and business while reducing carbon emissions and helping create a cleaner environment. It's just a little something for your smart energy future.
Home half of the fourth inning, the Otters lead the Miners 2-1. Jared Mang digs in, fifth place hitting center fielder with St. Claude Felter, Preston Linebach. I'm Jevin Redmond. Jared Mang popped out to second, ending the first inning. Austin Grossman back out to work the fourth, and his first pitch to Mang. is low ball one. Miners got their run in the first inning. RBI single from Jamie Smart, scored Ariel Sandoval. Otters got a single tally in the second, thanks to an RBI ground out from McNamee. That scored Riley Crane. Then an infield single by Jeffrey Baez plated Gary Mattis in the third. Here's the 1-0. And a breaking ball swing and a miss from Mang, 1-1.
So an update for you at Ozinga and Crestwood. The Thunderbolts scored 3 times in the third to take a 4-1 lead, but Florence has responded with 2 in the top of the fourth, still batting nobody out. It's 4-3 with a runner at second for the Alls.
Here's a ground ball up the middle. Base hit for Jared Mang as the Miners had the leadoff guy on for back-to-back innings. You saying that Park's name always reminds me of Buzzinga from Big Bang Theory.
I was trying not to say that. That's why you heard me pause to make sure I had my thoughts in line.
And hey, now that you have a network TV, 10 o'clock on Fox, Big Bang Theory.
Yes. Network TV for the first time today in my apartment downtown.
Are you a Big Bang Theory guy, Preston?
Not a huge fascination, but, you know, I've watched it here.
I'm more of an Everybody Loves Raymond fan.
I like Raymond too. And do you like King of Queens?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because Kevin James is a goat.
The older sitcoms, you know, which they don't make TV sitcoms like anymore.
Both on CBS, Raymond and King of Queens.
I like Friends and have nothing against Friends at all, but that's one show I've always said I'm going to sit down and watch it from start to finish, but I never have done that. I just watch random episodes. I like the show. Ground ball to second, could be 2. The flip, the throw to first, double play. 4-6-3 Allen to Jesus Crane. Off the bat of Ian Walters, that erases the leadoff single from Jared Mang.
And I grew up in a pretty strict household where I couldn't watch shows by myself, but there were some shows that if I watched with my parents, I could watch. Friends was one of the shows that they watched live on NBC, so I saw every one of those. I remember my 8th grade year, the Friends finale, and that I set the VCR because I had a choir concert that night, so I could watch the Friends finale when I got home that night. And then I haven't watched it since because I saw the whole show.
Yeah, I watched it once straight through on Netflix, I guess, and that was it.
Here's a ground ball to third off the bat of Brocado. That was a quick 1-2-3 fourth for Austin Grossman as he faces the minimum. Leadoff single from Mang. Walters double play, and Brocado bounces out to third. After 4, Otters 2, Miners 1 on the Otters YouTube channel.
Every 6 minutes, a utility line is damaged due to reckless digging. So Indiana relies on these 811 superheroes. Derek the Builder.
I dig for a living, but I always contact 811.
Mary the Gardener.
Before I plant a tree, I contact 811.
And Mike the Contractor.
I contact 811 before I do my work.
Prevent damage or injury. Call 811 anytime or go online 811now.com. This message is sponsored by the Indiana Utility Regulatory Commission and this station.
Come be a part of a nationally recognized program in criminal justice. The Criminal Justice Program at Oakland City University provides students with in-depth knowledge in the fields of law enforcement, forensics, corrections, and juvenile justice. Learn through hands-on experiences and train in areas of investigative forensics, criminology, and police administration. A career-focused major is in your reach and all in a Christian university setting that feels like home. Oakland City University.
Top of the 5th inning, Evansville enjoying a 2-1 lead here at Rent One Park in Marion, Illinois. Gary Mattis has enjoyed this evening so far. He has 2 hits, a single and a double. Came around to score in the 3rd inning, and he takes a breaking ball just above the belt, ball 1. Allen and Baez to follow. If anybody reaches, Riley Crane. Cunningham still working in the 5th and the 1-0. skips in the turf. 2 balls and no strikes.
I do love the Otters wearing the Evansville gray. Evansville in cursive in the blue font on the gray jersey.
Here's a smash off the pitcher's leg, ricochets to the third baseman, and they throw to first in time. Otters have had a couple of those right back up the middle tonight. Tough luck as Mattis is retiring for the first time this season. That goes 1-5-3.
Going back to the last series that was played between these two teams at Rent One Park, it felt like every time there was a ricochet off one of the players, it would just magically go to one of the teammates who could then easily make the play over to first for an out.
Possibly magnets are involved.
No, seriously, can we check the baseballs, please? Vinny Garrett and Cam Ellison didn't rub them up before, so I don't trust them.
So 1 out. Here's Josh Allen, who is 1 for 2. He singled back in the third, and they are checking on a Cunningham. That one did catch him. The other one was off his glove. Hopefully Cunningham is okay.
You don't want to see an injury this time of the year, especially when you've been as good as Chase Cunningham has, and they're going to have him throw a couple of tosses here to confirm that they're good to go.
Drilled him in the shin, probably trying to get some feeling back in that shin. Be a nice goose egg tomorrow morning.
When I was a kid and I get drilled by a pitch playing baseball, or I played football for the brief time and had all the bruises, I wore those with pride. It's like I'm subjecting my body to this trauma. Then I found golf, and Katie barred the door. It was a different story.
Yeah, I've taken a lot of hard-kicked soccer balls.
Yeah, Preston, a sectional champion goalie with Evansville North back in the day.
A lot of bruises.
I think the worst was getting hit in the elbow, though. That was, I can handle about anything else, but elbow, I mean, or the head. That's not a good spot either. It's pitched to Allen, a breaking ball nearly hit him in the head, and it was a curve that didn't curve much, ball one.
As someone who's broken each elbow, I feel you on that.
Allen hits a chopper deep in the hole. It's short. Godinho slings it across the diamond. Allen's out by a couple of steps. Good play by Yeltsin Godinho. Their shortstop as Allen's 1 for 3. It's only hitting the head once playing baseball. Just kind of rattles you. I mean, it didn't hurt necessarily, but it is scary.
The thing about breaking your elbow, though, is you have to do the rehab.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the worst. Like when I broke my foot, I didn't have to do the rehab because it healed.
Right.
For the range of motion, you had to do the rehab, and I hated my therapist, even though she was so nice.
Baez takes a curve on the corner, strike 1. He had an infield single that scored Mattis in the go-ahead run back in the third inning. For Baez, his 12th RBI this season. He's also bounced out to second. Overhead wind in the 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, chased one down and away.
And she would always have this smile, and she'd, okay, we're going to try to do this. And it seemed innocent enough, and then she would yank my arm to try to straighten it out after 2 weeks of breaking. No!
The 2-strike pitch to Baez is a smash out into right center field. This will get down and go all the way to the wall. Baez with good speed around first. He'll make it into second, and Baez will go all the way to third with a 2-out triple. Jeffrey Baez, his first triple as an Evansville Otter, an 0-2 mistake from Cunningham, and he whistled that ball into right center field, and Baez, who can move despite his large frame, has a triple.
I wish Big Red Jordan Fisher was here so I could say hashtag Cycle Watch for him, because he has the single already, and now he has the triple, which for a lot of people is the hardest thing to accomplish, especially with a guy like Jeffrey Baez that has power. You just need a double and a home run.
Can we text Jordan Fisher?
Please.
Runner at third base with 2 outs, and Crane tried to go golfing there, as Bill would say, on a pitch down and inside, strike 1.
I'm sure he's listening as he does his football prep, right?
Is that what he's doing? That's why he couldn't join us tonight?
No, I was scheduled to do the game. Oh, you mean just why he's not here?
Right.
I don't know. Maybe he just got tired of us. There's a pitch upstairs, 1-1. He is doing the game tomorrow.
Glad I won't be here. No, just kidding.
It'll be Preston and Jordan tomorrow. I will be doing football prep tomorrow night.
I'll be doing Home Team Friday Countdown tomorrow night with UE Women's Soccer before.
Week 3 of the football season here in the area. Swinging a foul back by Crane, 1-2.
Who do you have?
Be Wrights at Jasper with a little bit, make an early trip up there on Friday. I'm going to have the Schnitzelbank before the game. Haven't been there since I was a kid.
Okay. Can't blame you there.
Pitcher Cunningham steps off the mound. He's staring over toward the third base side. I think it was Baez who was dancing, trying to get his attention, and he did get his attention. Now 1-2 pitch for Riley Crane. And now Baez broke toward the plate, and the pitcher Cunningham stepped off the mound and took off running toward Baez, and the pitcher kind of slipped on the mound. Nothing else really happened, though. Still 1-2 on Crane.
Yeah, I don't think Baez is going to try to do like DeJesus did a couple weeks ago with the stealing of home plate.
The 1-2 is lifted foul.
Which is still just awesome to see in person.
Being the proud Methodist that I am, I hear the Schnichelbach, and I always think of Aldersgate United Methodist. That was our, and is our, Christmas dinner. So when it's catered, it's always by the Schnichelbach in Jasper, which is hard to beat.
Here's a curveball, grounded foul, first base side, 1-2. Still on Crane with runner at third base, 2 outs at the triple from Baez. Otters leading 2-1, top of the 5th.
I'm just glad you guys know how to say it right.
I thought I butchered it, so I try to just kind of mumble it. Like when I get a hard name to announce for an opposing player, that's kind of what my trick is.
Swing and a miss. Crane chased a pitch downstairs, and that ends the Evansville 5th. They strand Baez at third base. Otters have left 5 on tonight. Halfway home, good one going to Marion. Otters 2, Miners 1 on the Otters YouTube channel.
We love our kids and want them to be healthy. After all, a healthy child can make for a happy child. That's why Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield offers health insurance for children up to age 18 at low or no cost. From doctor visits to dental care, Anthem is here to put resources at your fingertips and simple solutions within your reach. And that is something to smile about. Call 1-800-403-0864 to enroll today. To learn more, visit anthem.com/inmedicaid.
Getting ready and keeping fit for baseball season is hard work. That's why you'll find Evan at Bob's Gym. Getting fit, having fun, being an Otter. Be like Evan. Try a free 3-day pass at Bob's.
Good battle on the mound here tonight. Game 2 of this series. Otters in front 2-1. Bottom of the 5th inning. 8-9-1 up for the Miners. It starts with Arturo Nieto, their catcher, who struck out looking back in the second. And the first pitch from Grossman is a breaking ball low. 1-0 on Nieto. He'll be followed by Godinho and Flete. Otters trying to even up this series against the Miners. The 1-0 catches the bottom part of the zone on a fastball, 1-1. They'll wrap up the series tomorrow night, 7:05 first pitch. Jordan Fisher and Preston Leinenbach will have the call for you. The Otters will be off to Schaumburg on Friday. Sort of 4-game series. The 1-1. Here's a ground ball to the left side. Charging as a shortstop to Jesus, and he throws out Nieto by plenty, 1 away.
What time is that Labor Day game?
1 o'clock. Because as of now, I'm scheduled, obviously, we'll do the Otters game at 1 o'clock, and then I'll be doing the ESPN game at the University of Evansville for soccer.
6 o'clock start, right?
I believe so.
Yeah.
I think I could do both that day because I think I'm supposed to be at UE that night as well.
I was supposed to do the soccer game on Saturday. There's I think this is Godinho at the plate.
It is.
And because I thought we're hosting an event here at Bossy Field, not an Otters event, obviously with the team on the road. I thought it was supposed to be just like in the morning, 9 to 11. I think the soccer game was supposed to be like at 2.
Mm-hmm.
Found out it's an all-day event here, so fortunately I won't be able to do the soccer game on Saturday.
UE asked me if I could do the soccer game on all the soccer games, and I saw the one on the 4th at 2 o'clock, knowing the Hoosiers play the Hawkeyes at 2:30. On assignment elsewhere. I'm unavailable.
Here's the 1-1 to Godinho. It's low and outside, 2-1. It's men's soccer Monday, right? And Saturday? Women's soccer Thursday?
Yeah, I think it's Wesleyan that they're playing on Saturday.
Yeah.
Blanking on Monday.
Is it Lipscomb on Monday, maybe?
That sounds right, yeah.
I feel like they play Lipscomb every year because obviously nearby in Nashville.
UE women's soccer off to a good start. They're 3-0-1. Men's soccer 0-2. Almost beat Louisville tonight. Here's a ground ball softly hit to the right side. Sliding stop by Allen. Throws to first, not in time. Godinho with an infield single. Allen, the second baseman, was playing up the middle. Had a long way to go to his left on the edge of what would be the outfield grass or the outfield turf. Was able to make a sliding stop, but his throw to first was just a tick late, and Godinho has an infield single.
Marshall Ray's Purple Aces, they almost pulled off that upset as Jevin referenced, and it was good to see Marshall Ray and his team at Bossy Field. And man, on the replay there, a bang play. I think the right call made there on the out at first, but Marshall Ray, or as the broadcast for ACC Network Extra called him, Ray Marshall. They kept calling him that. It's like, man, it's right there in the media notes.
It's Ray, Marshall.
Right. As it would be listed in a phone book. Do those still exist?
World's worst job, being a salesperson for that.
Don't say that, because I work for a newspaper that's part of the print industry as well, like phone books, newspapers. Like
second world's worst. I'm just kidding.
On that last play, I just want to say I'm surprised. One, give credit to Crane, who held on to the ball, taking that part of that collision. But that was a tough play because normally, as a first baseman, with the way he's reaching, the throws to his left side, it might be easier. He had to go back across his body.
Well, it's not a long throw, but for the second baseman, Allen had a long way to go. His momentum's kind of taking him at an awkward angle from first. A lot of times you'll see that throw sail. It was a good effort by Allen. Almost got him. Here it's 2 strikes on Bryant Flette, who's walked and bounced out to second. 1 on, 1 out. Otters leading 2-1 here in the 5th inning. Two-strike pitch to Flette. Sometimes I shouldn't check my phone middle of the broadcast.
I like checking it because typically I have family listening. They're like, "You're doing a great job," and it's a nice morale boost.
Matt and Zane's over taking pictures for the gram.
I am, for my Insta story follow.
Here's a pitch outside, 1-2 on Flette.
What's the handle? Zane_Cloudfilter.
What are we taking a picture of?
No, of the screen, and that's a good question. Shook McGee, when he was here, asked me that question because he wanted to tag me, and I had no idea what it's.
Was it just all one word?
It is Zane_Cloudfelter.
1-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Flette strikes out. That's out number 2 here in the 5th inning.
Basically, a lot of my family's on my Instagram, a lot of Bossy Field, and a lot of pictures taken in Bloomington and Indianapolis.
You kids and your Instagram, haven't had that in like 3 years.
Really?
I got rid of that after college. I don't know. I use social media more so for, I guess, newsworthy stuff. I feel like Instagram just takes up time, and all I'm seeing is pictures, so I don't really care.
I like it for one big reason. And you say pictures as there's a throw over to first and the runner's back safely. I don't like backing up my phone on an iCloud because I'm always afraid some Russian hacker is going to get into my... So when my phone crashes, I like having Instagram because all the important pictures that were worthy enough to post on Instagram are always going to be saved on Instagram, so I'll always have those at least.
But you do realize there's so many ways people can hack you. Like...
Well, that's why
for information much more important than just pictures.
Or if it's the movie, The Internship, it's Exchangeogram. Which, yeah. What a
And I do want to give a special shout out. I just had a message to the Insta story I just posted. Elspeth Urbina is listening, and she had a great observation that I'll tell you guys during the commercial break. It was great getting a handwritten note from her. She did a great job with the Arc of Evansville on 90s night.
1-1 pitch to Early, a ground ball to second. Josh Allen has been a busy man tonight. He takes care of Early, ending the Miners' 5th inning. A one-out single from Yeltsin Godinho. He's left at first base, and after 5, the Otters are still in front, 2-1 on the Otters YouTube channel.
Fix up your home with Heritage. Our home improvement financing options can help you change your home now and pay for it over time. Upgrade your home. Make home repairs. Remodel a kitchen. Build a new deck. Add a new room. Remodel your bath. Update appliances. Whether it's a small weekend project or a large renovation, Heritage Federal Credit Union can help you finance your improvements today. Fix up your home with Heritage.
Before you danced the first dance. Before you walked down the aisle. Before the tables were set with care. Before you penned a single invitation. Before the day that went beyond your wildest expectations. There was the little green box from Brinker's Jewelers for befores and happily ever afters.
J.R. Davis digs in, leading off the 6th inning for Evansville. He shows bunt, pulls back, and takes strike on the outside corner. Davis with a single in the 2nd. He's also bounced into a fielder's choice. It's 2-1 Evansville here in the 6th with Zane Clodfelter, Preston Leinebach. I'm Jevin Redmond. Thank you for joining us on our YouTube channel tonight. The 0-1 is outside, counts even 1-1 on the Evansville DH.
Here in the 6th inning, the crowd's really into it, making a bunch of noise.
Crowd of about, I would say, what, they announced 898 last night, maybe a couple more tonight.
They've been cheering for about 10 hours straight.
Hey, that's me every Saturday in Bloomington at the corner of 17th and Dunn.
1-2 on Davis. Leading off the top the 6th inning for Evansville. Wears those high blue socks, and the pitch is hit to the other side of the field, and it's foul. Try to go the other way with it.
Oh, I see the fan wearing my shirt now. Someone went to the Otters Den team store.
Chase Cunningham from the wide to the 1-2. Pitch is outside and low, 2-2 on Davis, followed by Miles Gordon and Elijah McNamee.
And Preston, could you recognize that fan or no?
I could not.
I could not, which we have a really good camera quality here.
2-2 pitch is up and away, and Davis has worked the count full.
This would be really cool if they have family in Evansville who mailed them something from the Otters Den team store at the ballpark, and they live in Marion, and they decided to rep their hometown or family's hometown team.
Payoff pitch is lifted in the air, first base side. It'll go out of play and foul into the seats. Davis stays alive.
That's right, show your hometown team some love.
Yeah, that's right.
The Evansville Otters. Hear Preston's voice on my TV occasionally. Late
Should be
night,
Zane's too.
watching the news.
You'll hear me next week.
Yeah, we rotated voiceover work between myself. Ryan did a few. Zane's done quite a few.
I enjoy it.
I've heard Zane's on the radio. I haven't heard it on TV yet.
Okay. I'll tell you all about the next homestand as we get closer next week if you're listening to the Evansville local outlets.
Another payoff pitch, and that is on the outside corner. Strike 3 call. Davis is down on strikes. That looked too far outside. But he gets the ring up, and there's one away in the 6th. It's been a big zone on both sides. That pitch was outside. Tough call for Davis.
But what did Preston say earlier, Jevin? He said that the upper part of the zone was not being called for a strike, but the lower half, and I guess now the lower outer half, also now being called for a strike.
So it's been big on both sides, but that one, I'm not sure Davis really could have hit. There's one away, and the batter is Miles Gordon. That's a strike right down central. Home plate umpire trying to move this game right along. It's picked up after the first few innings. About an hour and a half. A little over an hour and a half. The 0-1 fouled off the catcher's mask. As Nieto shakes his head from side to side, got his bell rung just a bit. Quickly 0-2 on Gordon, who's been hit by a pitch tonight. And he struck out in the 3rd.
The pain of a catcher is a story for a later date that you brag about, as Bill McCune, I'm sure, didn't enjoy the injuries he sustained being a catcher, especially for the Evansville Braves back in the 50s. But now he talks about them on the radio, so it's a badge of honor.
The 0-2 is a curveball lined, and a diving attempt by the first baseman. Smarty can't make the catch as the ball shoots into right field for a 1-out single.
Yeah, that ball was left up, hung up a little bit on Cunningham. Gordon able to square around on the barrel to send it to right field.
It's now 7 Otters hits tonight, as they try to add on to this 2-1 lead as McNamee struts the plate.
And it shows you how good Chase Cunningham has been against the Otters coming into tonight, where you're thinking, oh man, he's having an off night, and here we are in the 6th. He's only given up 2 runs.
You have the live stats. Were both of those earned? No, one of them's unearned because of the error. That's what I was thinking.
Right.
On that play at second base earlier.
One ball, no strikes on McNamee. The pitch. That's on the outside corner. Strike called. 1-1.
By the way, Jevin, the FrontierLeagueTV.com scoreboard update for you now. Bottom of the 5th, the Florence Yalls on top of the Windy City Thunderbolts 5-4. The Florence Yalls had a run in the 1st and 4 runs in the 4th. The Thunderbolts with a run in the 2nd and 3 in the 3rd.
While we have a moment, I also want to kind of give a nice little tease out for our listeners and our fans to pay attention for the Korean Press in the next week or so, as
Gordon Englehart's going to have a really awesome story.
As he reached out to the ownership group and Mr. Bill Bussing to break down his top 5 Otters of all time.
And Bill Bussing reached out to you, Preston. He reached out to me. He reached out to Joel Padfield. We've been here for quite some time, and we each gave our opinions. I told him ahead of time.
I guess it's a collaborative list of 5.
It was.
But we all pretty much were mostly in agreement.
Here's the 2-1 pitch to McNamee, a foul ball, first base side, 2-2.
As the journalist, I tried to be fair, though, and I didn't feel it was just for me to judge anybody or include anybody prior to my arrival with the team as the PA announcer in 2011. So all of my picks were 2011 on, but the consensus, as Bill later texted us, a couple of my selections made it, I think 3 of the 5.
Yeah, I mean, I'm only been here for 5 seasons, but there's kind of a few standout guys who have impacted the organization in previous years, obviously back in, part of the 2006 and, that stretch run under the Greg Jelks era, obviously where they had a lot of good players, where you just look at their numbers and you can kind of tell who the obvious ones are. But
and there is, I will say this, as someone who's been here a decade, there is a little bit of a gray area for the pre-Bill Bussing ownership group, and I think Bill has done a great job in archiving those stats and the results so we can preserve as much of that 1995 through 2000 history prior to his involvement and then prior to him, taking over and his family taking over as majority owners.
And for me, growing up in Evansville, going to a lot of Otters games as a kid, most of those players from the Greg Jelks era, I did recognize those names because I remember hearing them being announced coming to games as a kid.
2-2 pitch to McNamee as a breaking ball high. Counts full 3-2. So we'll see if they start Gordon from first base. He's there with 1 out. Otters in front, 2-1, top of the 6th.
And hopefully we can tease more Courier Press articles, because then that would mean the Otters are having success in the postseason and worth writing about here late in September. It is September 1st, by the way, the first day of meteorological fall, I learned today from the National Weather Service, which I hope means it's going to get a little bit cooler.
Payoff pitch upcoming to McNamee. The pitch. Line down the right field line, foul. And the runner at first base, Gordon, was off with the pitch. He'll have to scamper back to first.
Yeah, I'm hoping it cools down, but yet stays relatively warm, as I would like to hit the golf course a few more times before the really cold temperatures hit.
Well, I'm still sneaking over to my parents' house, and I'm hoping if my mom and dad are listening, they keep their pool open for like 2.5 more weeks. Give me till like the end of October, because it's always hot.
That's like more than just a couple of weeks.
I'm trying to plant the seed here early.
72 right now here in Evansville, but over the next few days, 82 is the high. Thursday, Friday, 75 on Saturday, then lower to mid 80s next week. What is kind of the perfect temperature? For me, I like highs in the lower 70s. That's perfect. Then dip down to upper 50s overnight.
Yeah, the moment
enough to wear long sleeves and be comfortable.
I don't have a say because I don't live with my parents, but the moment they close their pool, then I'll want it to get like 65 degrees with a low of 40 every day.
Another 3-2 pitch. Runner going again. Another foul down the right field line. Well, Preston, let's tease something tomorrow as well. I was just notified by Corey Clayton that you're going to be on All About Sports tomorrow with Dan Agursky.
That is correct.
What you talking about? What you talking about?
Well, we're clearly going to be talking about how, where the team's at in the standings here going down into the last week and a half of the regular season. And also kind of talking about some of the promotions going into the last homestand next week, which some of the bigger ones are toward the end of the week, so you don't want to miss out on the back end of the homestand next week.
I am missing out on one of the games.
Will you be with Dan Agursky or Gene Worrell tomorrow? That's the big question.
Dan.
Dan. It will be Dan. Okay.
Hey, Danny Agursky.
3-2 pitch again. Fouled back to the screen.
Dan Agursky and Gene Worrell, USI Baseball, they always do the games from the left field
party deck.
A big thank you to Dan and WREF and Gene, as throughout the season they've featured an Otters player more often than not. A couple times they've had myself or Ryan when he was here on, but most of the Otters players talking to them on their All About Sports show.
3-2 pitch, a swing and a miss. McNamee tried to go down and get a pitch from Cunningham. Could not make contact. Elijah's 0 for 3, and that's the second out here in the 6th.
2017, I enjoyed going on All About Sports 3 or 4 times. Kind of doing what you're doing, laying out all the fantastic promotions. And if you want more information on all of our promotions for the homestand September 7th through the 12th, it's the last 6 games of that 96-game schedule. Go to EvansvilleOtters.com, schedule tab, and you can find all the promotions.
There's be the last of all the weekly favorites: Taco Tuesday, Thirsty Thursday, Dog Days of Summer, one last fireworks night as well.
When's the fireworks night?
The night that you will be on assignment elsewhere, September 11th.
No! Oh, for First Responders Night. That's so appropriate. It is what it is. I'll take my loss of fireworks for my assignment.
Yeah, next weekend you're going to be on assignment on the 11th. Brandon's going to be out on the 10th.
We're grabbing lunch at Los Bravos tomorrow, if you want to join, either of you.
I think Jordan Fisher sent me a message that he's missing 1 game next week.
Oh, yeah, for production. What game is that? Would be Friday, right? I'm sure.
Well, besides the Friday, because I know obviously you guys have.
Oh man, multiple days, Big Red.
The Wednesday day game.
Oh, I keep forgetting about that.
Tuesday.
Education Day.
At 10:05. But the weird thing is, I don't have to show up for work till like 1, so like I don't even have to ask off work to show up.
Yeah, Jordan said he can't be here Tuesday.
Here's a 1-1 pitch, a curve in the outside corner. 1-2 to Justin Felix, who has struck out twice tonight.
He said he's doing his best to get off to be here for the Wednesday morning game. So
it'll conflict with his gym time.
Jordan Fisher goes to the gym?
He does, because he used to not want to hang out with us after weekend games because he had to get up at 4:30 to go to the gym. I don't know. It was his thing.
1-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Felix strikes out for the third time tonight. That ends the Evansville sixth. They one out single from Miles Gordon. That's all they get. Miners bat in the sixth. Otters in front 2-1 on the YouTube channel of the Evansville Otters.
If you're looking for a liquor store in Evansville, look no further than Liquor Locker. The Liquor Locker has the best selection at the best prices, including the largest craft beer and bourbon selection in the area. Our friendly and knowledgeable staff will help you find the beer, wine, and liquor you need for any occasion. And check out the fine selection of cigars at all Liquor Locker stores. Liquor Locker is now open Sundays 12 to 8 p.m. and offers citywide delivery. Visit one of our 10 conveniently located stores in the Evansville area today. There is always something for everyone at the Liquor Locker.
Cheer up, Evan. This rain will be out soon. You should download the 14 First Alert app and see for yourself. You can see what's coming up to 7 days in advance, or you can break it down hour by hour. Check out live radar so you can see what's happening in real time. And you can watch 14 News live directly from the app. See, there's nothing to worry about.
Stay in the game with the 14 First Alert app.
All right, home half of the sixth inning. Otters in front, 2-1 with St. Cloudfelter, Preston Lindenbach. I'm Jevin Redmond. 3, 4, and 5 up. Grossman still in the game as he'll face Sandoval for the third time tonight. Their DH, who has walked and scored. He's also struck out. Pitch to him is just a bit low. Ball one. It's been a strike sometimes tonight. Not this time for Grossman.
Who are we to judge?
Just calling it like I see it. The 1-0. Going outside, 2 balls and no strikes. I do have a feeling, though, that this game does not end 2-1 tonight.
Right. So that's why if you're Evansville, you need Austin Grossman to throw another nice inning here in the sixth. And then it would be nice over the last 3 innings to add some insurance to this 2-1 lead.
Miners have just 3 hits. Otters with 7 tonight, but Evansville in front 2-1. There's a fastball in the inside corner. Strike one.
Now, Jevin, you and I both referee basketball for the IHSAA. You don't do baseball? Have you ever thought about doing it?
No, I'm not interested in it. No.
I'm not either because I'm still trying to perfect basketball myself.
Aren't we all? The 2-1, a ground ball foul, first base side, 2-2. I mean, I enjoy baseball, but I think just having played it for most of my life, and I was just kind of tired of being on the field. There's no clock. You get the long, hot days, and I don't want to put on the equipment and get behind home plate. I mean, I just don't have any interest.
See, working with you, I feel old because I announced some of your American Legion games back in the day, back when I did Newburgh Post 44 prior to my Bossy Field stint.
2-2 pitch to Sandoval is chop foul, third base side.
And I'll be honest, the first time I ever ran across your name on a lineup, I had to double check to make sure like the pen didn't wear out because Jevin, like Zane, is very unique. So I wanted to make sure it wasn't Devin Redmond, which I found out it wasn't. True story. Unique names I always check.
Well, I was going to be Devin, and then my parents are writing on the birth certificate. The pen did run out, so I was Jevin. That's how I got my name. Here's a pitch in the turf, 3-2. No, not quite.
I mean, Preston Lindenbach, Jevin Redmond, and St. Cloudfelter, all very unique names.
Just rolls off the tongue.
It's we don't need stage names. Which some prefer to choose, but I'm proud of my Swiss heritage. I'll be a Clodfelter.
3-2 count on Sandoval. Swing and a miss. He chased ball 4. Second time Sandoval has struck out tonight. Grossman gets leadoff man in the 6th.
And this is the Austin Grossman, Preston, that we saw once he was acquired by the Evansville Otters. I mean, he was a guy that worked quickly, worked efficiently, and was able to get results. And after a couple of rough outings, it's good to see him here in the 6th taking care of business so far.
And just like what we saw really, it doesn't seem so far ago, you know, obviously last week, his last outing was a little rough, but just a couple home starts ago against Gateway, he had 10 strikeouts in that game and went pretty deep.
Strike one here to Jamie Smart, the first baseman, who's 1 for 2. He has an RBI single. That was all the way back in the first for the lone Miners run. This pitch is outside, 1-1.
We haven't seen that first base camera used a lot, and I know why, because they just showed a shot, and it's the first base coach.
Here's a little flare into left field, and it drops in front of Baez for a 1-out single. So Smart has 2 of the 4 Miners hits. And the tying run is on base with 1 out here in the 6th.
So good acquisition for Southern Illinois right before the deadline to get him. But I was mentioning, no offense to Southern Illinois' first base coach, but he was standing literally in the camera shot where just the whole shot was his back.
Now, if it's the same as last night, they actually had the jersey on. It was number 9. And I know normally earlier this season, number 9 has been on the back of Gianfranco Wawu.
What happened to him?
So I wonder if, you know, he's on the IL, but yet can assist the team still as a base coach. Because there's a lot of teams that don't actually have like an actual coach over there. It's normally just some of the players or non-starters.
Or it could be a specialty jersey where they couldn't get Gianfranco Wawu's number. And so maybe he's, I mean, Florence seems to have like 5 different jerseys with different numbers for all of them.
Here's a big swing and a miss by Jared Meng. Counts even 1-1. Meng singled his last time up. He's 1 for 2.
Because when our good buddy Dennis is the official scorer, it always seems like it's against Florence, and they have different jersey numbers, and it always throws them off on the point streak system.
Is this the first year Dennis has official scored for the Otters?
Yes, it is, and I referred him to Preston.
Here's a breaking ball low, 2-1.
And I hope he's listening tonight, because he'd be tickled silly that we're talking about him, but no.
Has he missed a game this year?
We actually had a rotation earlier in the year with him, and then there was also Gary, but
Gary fizzle out or something. Here's a breaking ball down the middle, 2-2.
Gary had some different priorities.
Some health issues within the family, so he had to kind of step aside. So now primarily it's either been Dennis or when he's not been available, I just kind of do multitask.
Or the one game where he just didn't show up, and we're a batter in, and Preston realizes Dennis never showed up. Already grabbed the laptop. True story. Which I'm sitting between Dennis and Preston, so I should have been the first to alert that there wasn't somebody to my left with the computer wide open.
Because I think previously that night I was busy putting out, quote, fires elsewhere.
Right.
Trying to get stuff set up.
2-2 pitch was a hanging breaking ball by Grossman. It smoked in left field for a base hit. So the Miners have 2-1 with 1 out. Trailing 2-1 in the 6th.
And suddenly this is becoming a pretty high-stress situation. Austin Grossman has done a really good job the last couple of innings of having, really easy innings, which for a starting pitcher is what you want because that allows you to go later into a game. But now with 2 on here and only 1 out, suddenly the go-ahead run is on base and a potential for a really big inning for Southern Illinois here in the 6th.
Do you know how many pitches he's at? You get the live stats pulled up?
I can pull it up.
I'm going to guess he's at about, I'm going to say 88.
And speaking of jersey numbers, I just now noticed that some of these themed jersey numbers are not matching up with the roster numbers for some of the Miners players.
Am I close or no?
Did you cheat?
I have nothing to look at.
I'm going with you to Tropicana. That's a strike, by the way. I'm going with you to Tropicana. It was 87.
Yeah, I have nothing to look at. I mean.
Okay. I did the math. So 50.
So this will be pitch number 88 right here.
Correct.
All right, the 0-1 to Ian Walters is a fly ball down the left field line in foul territory, out of play.
52 strikes, 36 balls. for Austin Grossman and 5 1/3 so far.
Otters have turned one double play. It was off the bat of Walters, who is up right now, 4-6-3 back in the fourth. Walters also bounced out to second. Evansville would take that once again to get out of the sixth inning and still keep a 2-1 lead. Walters has 43 RBIs on the season, started play batting .292. And the 2-strike pitch is in the turf, blocked by the catcher Felix, and it's 1-2.
This would be a really big out here.
And if you don't mind exiting out of that on my computer on the restart later.
And we don't want to...
Don't do restart now, we'll lose our crowd.
Yeah. Cheering for 2 hours and 25 minutes.
Or if this game goes 11 more hours, we'll lose our fans too. 1-2 pitch to Walters on the outside corner. Didn't get the call. Counts even 2-2. Good pitch there.
Really good pitch. And how, if you're Ian Walters, can you not swing on that, right?
I wouldn't take it again. That's all I'll say.
I wouldn't have taken it the first time.
2 balls, 2 strikes on Walters with Smart at second, Mang at first base. Otters in front, 2-1 in the sixth. The pitch. Ground ball pulled foul.
Walters, the former SIU Saluki, so I'm sure Zane, Jevin, you probably have announced his name a couple times before.
And German American Bank Field at Charles H. Braun Stadium.
And they'd add another name to that.
The Jevin Redman Honorary Press Box at German American Bank Field at Charles H. Brown Stadium.
On the campus of the University of Evansville, from Learfield. 2 pitches foul.
My goodness. Well, it's already I take that back. It's the Marv, and what's his wife's name? The press box at German American Bank Field at Charles H. Braun Stadium is already named for Marv Bates and his wife because there's a little plaque, which Marv Bates is also immortalized here in the Bosse Field press box. The longtime voice of the Purple Aces died in the plane crash in 1977, December 13th, and also did the triplets here at the ballpark.
2-2 pitch to Ian Walters. 2 on, 1 out. In the turf, and the count is full, 3-2.
So next time, work that into your ESPN Plus or 3 broadcast for the Valley on ESPN and start with the Marv Bates shout out and then German American Bank and then Charles H. Braun. He helped build the whole stadium, so you have to give him a plug. He's the Benjamin Bosse of the Purple Aces baseball program.
Well, a big payoff pitch coming up here to Ian Walters. He could tie it with a base hit or even give him the lead. The 3-2 ground ball foul.
Spoiling off a lot of really good pitches. And right where Felix is putting the glove is where Grossman has been hitting. Just better at bats here.
This will probably be Grossman's last inning. Evansville hoping he can get through this sixth okay. Approaching 100 pitches. He's over 90 now. Glares into his catcher Felix. Has a sign once. And a 3-2 pitch to Ian Walters. Up and away, ball 4. He walked him, and they're loaded with 1 out.
If you could have gotten a double play there, I would have asked, well, maybe he could have come out in the 7th, because we did see Braden Scott on this road trip pitch well into the 100s in terms of a pitch count, and both were collegiate pitchers who have been stretched out to this point in the season where they can maybe go a little bit longer.
Max Peterson will walk to the mound to talk with Austin Grossman here. Bases loaded, 1 out. Otters in front, 2-1 here in the 6th. Inning started with a strikeout of Sandoval. And a single to Smart, single to Mang, a walk to Walters, and that's going to be it for Austin Grossman as Evansville goes to the bullpen. So Preston Linebach, we will step aside real quick. Bases loaded, 1 out for the Miners. Evansville in front, 2-1 here in the 6th inning on the Otters YouTube channel.
Welcome to a place that feels like home. A place that cares about all of you. Built to help you grow in more ways than you can possibly imagine. To make new friends, travel new paths, soar to new heights, and deepen your spiritual experience. Welcome to to Oakland City University.
Centerpoint Energy's newest generation of safe, efficient energy includes capturing and harnessing the natural power of pure sunshine. We are increasing solar in our balanced and reliable energy mix as we power our region with more clean, renewable energy. We're bringing a little piece of the sun to every home and business while reducing carbon emissions and helping create a cleaner environment. It's just a little something for your smart energy future.
Well, a big spot in this game as Tyler Spring comes into the contest. He'll try to spring out of a fire. Bases loaded, one out. And the batter is Anthony Brocado, the left fielder. Otters in front 2-1, but the tying run at third base, go-ahead run at second, with just one away. Brocado has walked and bounced out to third. Evansville has turned one double play this evening. We'll see if Spring can get double play here. The pitch. Low ball one.
Tyler Spring, a 2.39 ERA, 49 innings pitched. He has 53 strikeouts in those 49 innings he's been on the mound, so a little over one strikeout an inning, and he needs a strikeout here in the worst way, Jevin.
Brocado has 53 RBIs on the season. He started play batting .287. Tyler Spring holds the ball in his right hand, comes set from the belt, takes a big deep breath, looks towards second, and the 1-0 is a swing and a foul back. Good rip there by Brocado.
Really good rip, but just a tad bit tardy. And if you're Tyler Spring, you want to come in out of the bullpen. You want to work ahead in the count here, where you can have a little bit more of a selection on what pitch you're trying to choose here.
Grossman went 5 1/3. He's still responsible for all three guys on base. The 1-1 pitch. Swinging a foul tip. That one caught Felix behind home plate. And now Spring a strike away from getting a punch out here, which he would like very much.
No Dakota Phillips in the lineup today, getting a night off. Not DHing and obviously not catching with Justin Felix behind the plate.
For Grossman, it was 5 1/3, 5 hits. He walked 3, struck out 6. And to this point, 1 run, but again responsible for all three guys on base. Brocado has 15 home runs on the season. He's behind the count, though, 1-2. And from the belt, here's the pitch from Tyler Spring. Breaking ball, high and inside, 2-2. Wish this umpire would move a step to his right or left, because he's right over home plate. I can't really see where the pitch is.
But for him, probably a good position to have, being right over home plate, though. Yeah. Oh, you're talking about the second.
The second base umpire. Yeah.
No, he does not know he's impeding FrenchLeagueTV.com.
I mean, you can't always see home plate. Here's the 2-2 pitch to Brocado. In the turf, nowhere to put him, and the count is full, 3-2. So he had him 1-2, now 3-2.
He wouldn't walk the runner with the bases loaded and only one out, would he, Jevin?
He wouldn't think so. I'm sure he doesn't want to.
Big time pressure packed inning and pitch right here.
Has to come right after Brocado, the Miners left fielder, with the bases loaded. The 3-2 pitch. Inside, ball 4. He walked in the tying run. It's 2-2. RBI number 54 for Brocado. That scores Jamie Smart from third base. And they're still loaded with only 1 out. That run charged to Grossman.
The problem is now you have Mang coming to bat. He's batting .310 coming in. I beg your pardon.
Mang moved to third. Nieto's up.
Yeah.
And Nieto,
we all make mistakes, Jevin. Except for you.
Just some more than others. No, I'm just kidding.
I'll give myself a personal foul.
Personal foul?
No, seriously.
He knows what he did.
Yeah.
Here's a swing and a miss from Nieto, 0-1. So Ryan Reynolds on Twitter, I've noticed this last couple of weeks when he tweets out high school football stuff on Fridays, and occasionally he'll make a mistake, and then he'll follow it up with, I made a mistake. He'll acknowledge it, and he'll say, and now I will run a lap.
Good for him owning up to it. Ryan Reynolds, one of the good guys, sports director of the Courier and Press. Awesome dude that we both know.
One strike here on Nieto. Otters trying to keep it a 2-2 game in the sixth. A run home as 4 straight have reached. A pair of singles and a pair of walks. The 0-1 to Nieto. Ground ball hit left side. Third baseman fields. He goes to home. Low throw, and it gets away from the catcher. To the backstop, 1 run scores. Here comes another run on the play, and the Miners have a 4-2 lead on a throwing error by Gary Mattis. I want to see that again because our camera didn't move to third base. I wondered if he could just step on the bag at third and go to first. Of course, in his mind, he wants to keep that go-ahead run from scoring. I get that. But a throwing error by Mattis. Fielder's choice, E5, and it's 4-2 for the Miners. Nieto does get an RBI for that, his 15th of the season.
So there are 2 outs, correct?
Oh, did he step on third base?
No, so you asked that. The graphic says 2 outs because there was only 1 out. So did he actually step on first? And now Mike Pinto came out to talk to the umpires, and perhaps that is the question. Did the third baseman for the Otters actually touch, or should this be a 2-run fielder's choice with still only 1 out?
Yeah, and again, I apologize for any confusion, but we didn't see Mattis field the ball or anything. We just saw the throw come home and it get away.
We're up to the mercy. So they are calling it a fielder's choice and 1 out. So the graphic that we are seeing is incorrect. There's still only 1 out on the play. The base is still loaded.
So Mang did score.
Preston, am I correct on that?
Yeah, that's what I have too.
Okay.
Fielder's choice showing.
So he did step on the third base bag. How is there 2 outs?
No, it's still only 1 out. They did call it a fielder's choice, but it's still only 1 out. They didn't actually get an out on it. They just made a fielder's choice because he went for the...
But 2 guys scored on the play, and our scoreboard has 3-2, 2 outs. There should only be 1 out.
Yeah, their graphic's incorrect.
Well, then Point Streak has it still 2-2 with 1 out. But it appeared on our Point Streak system that they acknowledged the fielder's choice, but it still said only 1 out, which is why I think both of us are led to believe.
Updated the score when technically it should be.
There's a swing and a miss by Godinho, 0-2. What would have been great if...
Because Mang and Walters score because Brocado's staying at third.
So it says last play, Arturo Nieto, fielder's choice, 1 out. And if the bases were loaded and there's still only 1 out, that would mean 2 would have to score.
And I'm assuming Nieto is still at first base. I don't see anybody leading off a second. Here's the 0-2. This one's in the turf, and it gets away from the catcher. Felix to the backstop. That'll score another run. Well, it's either 4-2 or 5-2. I don't know.
Should we do a Twitter poll? What is the actual score of this game?
That one was left well short by Spring. I mean, I don't even think that was actually in the, quote, dirt turf. That one, I think, spiked in the grass.
So clearly, based on just working at Bossy Field and past issues with our official scores and Point Streak, whoever the official score is has inputted something incorrect, and they are trying to correct it because we're still seeing bottom of the second on our stats, and it's 2-2.
And depending on how the situation is, you have to backtrack on Point Streak. You can't just fix that one moment. You have to backtrack all the way.
So the Preston Leinenbach of Southern Illinois is frantically trying to fix. And now...
Oh, and now here comes the Jordan Fisher to assist as well with the official scoring.
Live Stats now has 2 outs, and it's 4-2.
Because usually I have to call on Jordan Fisher to also help me out and assist.
So yeah, Live Stats has a runner at first. It's 4-2. There are 2 outs, so apparently that runner did There was an out at third.
Can I see your iPad real quick?
Yes.
Baseball.
So you want to score a game, huh?
1-2 pitch here to Godinho is low. The count's 2-2. So it's the Miners 4, Otters 2 in the 6th inning with 2 outs, and Nieto is at second base. Yep.
So the scoreboard bug was right the whole time. I wonder if they're in the same room in the press box. Rentwan Park has divided areas of the press box. I assume they're now in the same room.
Swing and a miss. Godinho chased one down in the turf. There's a strikeout. He is 1 for 3 with a pair of Ks. That ends the 6th inning. But the Miners score 3 runs, and after 6, Miners 4, Otters 2 on the Otters YouTube channel.
Every 6 minutes, a utility line is damaged due to reckless digging. So Indiana relies on these 811 superheroes. Derek the Builder.
I dig for a living, but I always contact 811.
Mary the Gardener.
Before I plant a tree, I contact 811.
And Mike the Contractor.
I contact 811 before I do my work.
Prevent damage or injury. Call 811 anytime or go online 811now.com. This message is sponsored by the Indiana Utility Regulatory Commission and this station.
Come be a part of a nationally recognized program in criminal justice. The Criminal Justice Program at Oakland City University provides students with in-depth knowledge in the fields of law enforcement, forensics, corrections, and juvenile justice. Learn through hands-on experiences and train in areas of investigative forensics, criminology, and police administration. A career-focused major is in your reach and all in a Christian university setting that feels like home. Oakland City University.
Top of the 7th inning, Otters now trailing 4-2 here against the Miners as Brian Flette leads off the 7th. He takes a called strike on the corner. Flette is 0 for 2 with a walk.
Flip it. Otters are up to bat.
Oh, yeah. Flip my scorebook. My apologies. Mattis is batting. No, he's not. DeJesus is. There we go. Speaking of mistakes, I think I'm the leader now tonight.
And
that was like 3 mistakes in 20 seconds.
Stelzer on the mound.
Say it again.
Stelzer. He pitched last night. Normally wears 33, wearing 21 in the themed jerseys for Southern.
And I'm pretty sure the count on the graphic is incorrect. Is it not 1-2?
Doesn't matter now. Fly ball to the left. Moving back is Brocado, and on the edge of the warning track, he makes the catch, 1 out. I'm about to put my headset down and just walk out because that was a rough 30 seconds.
As Terry Hepner once said, paraphrasing Don Shula, you strive for perfection and settle for excellence.
I'm not even sure the last 30 seconds was excellent. So, anyways, we do know the score is Miners 4, Otters 2, top of the 7th, 1 away. Now back to the top of the order, and Gary Mattis digs in. He's 2 for 3, bounced out his last time up. Some tough luck. Ball ricocheted off the pitcher to the third baseman. He threw him out.
And Jevin, I do know that the Florence Yalls in the bottom of the 7th at Ozinga Park are beating the Windy City Thunderbolts 5-4. Again, bottom of the 7th, and that is a very big series.
So Florence is up now?
Yes, 5-4. So if the scores from the Florence Windy City game and the Evansville Southern Illinois game hold, the division lead would be a half a game over the Yalls and just 1.5 games over the Miners.
Here's the 1-1 pitch to Mattis, and he breaks his bat, lines one to short, and making a shoestring catch as a shortstop Godinho. 2 fast outs in the 7th as Stelzer's come in and retired to Jesus and Mattis. Mattis is 2 for 4.
Which would show you how just legitimate, and I hate to be a homer here because I try to be as impartial as I can be, but when you look at the West Division of the Frontier League, you have the Otters who came in 50-34, the Florence Yalls who were 1.5 back, and Southern Illinois 2.5 back. Those are the 3 best records, ladies and gentlemen, in the Frontier League, which is 14 teams. And the worst part is there's going to be 3 other playoff teams with records right now not as good.
I think Jevin said that was a broken bat, so I'm waiting for the broken bat read.
There goes some more lumber, more wood for the winter fire, courtesy of our friends at Knee House Lumber, Jevin.
Haven't heard of him. Here's the 1-0 pitch. It's on the inside corner. They need to step up their marketing game then. 2-0. Didn't know you guys had a broken bat read.
We do. And Jordan's a big person to tell me if there's a broken bat because he always has his window open.
Maybe we got to read just for just about everything except for a double play.
Which, in my mind, is $99.99 to Cardinals Care from the American Equity Mortgage folks because I grew up listening to KMOX.
Here's the 3-0 pitch. That's a called strike, 3-1. Honest question. I mean, I've heard the Cardinals turn double play this year and stuff, but do they still have that promotion?
They do. The problem is, though, it's now $100 to Cardinals Care from Wells Fargo, so it's not even the American Equity Mortgage folks.
Come on, Wells Fargo. You got to do $99.99. That just makes it. Here's a 2-out walk to Allen. He's on base for the 2nd time. I want to go back to your point, though, you made. You know, if the Otters can't come back here, Florence wins. So you have a half game lead over them, game and a half lead over the Miners. If you don't win tomorrow as well, that puts so much pressure over your final 10 games because now instead of, you know, if you lose a night, okay, maybe Florence loses. What are the chances both Florence and the Miners lose on the same night? So now you always have a team probably gaining ground on you, and that's why I'm kind of more concerned about the Miners than Florence.
And that's how the Otters made the playoffs, Preston, if you remember, in 2018. The 2 teams that were chasing Evansville within that division and within the wild card chase, the last 6 games had to play each other 3 times, and they basically knocked each other off while Evansville took care of business against a non-contender.
And last night, because I know this is important to you, Zane, we, Jordan and I looked up and discussed the tiebreaker scenarios.
Thank you for bringing this up.
And the fact that the head-to-head is actually not the first tiebreaker.
Oh, man.
I can recap. It's actually pretty interesting.
Who came up with these rules?
Head-to-head should always be the first tiebreaker.
Right? Oh, gosh.
By the way, as Preston is doing some research, the count is 2-0 on Jeffrey Baez, who has an infield single and a triple tonight. He's 2 for 3 with Josh Allen at first base. 2 away in the 7th. Otters trailing 4-2.
So suddenly with one swing of the bat here, Jevin, this game could change with a home run.
Are you calling a 2-run shot from Baez?
Call it. Can I beg for it? At this stage, I'm begging.
Here's the 2-0 pitch to Baez. He takes a strike on the corner, 2-1.
All right, so the first tiebreaker is straight up just the winning percentage, which could be part of it since Florence has that half-game difference.
So they're only, as of now, going to play 95, where the Otters are slated to play 96 because of a postponement.
The second tiebreaker would be the head-to-head, which the Otters own against Florence.
Okay.
Now, of course, right now it's up in the air with the head-to-head between the Otters and the Miners.
2-1 pitch to Baez. Swing and a miss. Home run cut. Came up empty.
As it's...
What is the head-to-head Otters versus Miners coming into tonight?
Let's see. It was 8-7 yesterday. We went 8-8.
Oh, man.
So there's a chance that it could be 9-9, depending by the end of the series. Which...
2-2 offering to Jeffrey Baez. A swing and a drive out into right center field. This will get down and once again go all the way to the wall. Allen around third. He will score easily from first base. Baez hustling into third base with his second triple of the night, and he makes it a one-run game. How about Jeffrey Baez? 3 hits and 2 triples.
So he doesn't care about hashtag cycle watch anymore, because if he wanted to still keep the cycle alive, he would have stopped at second. But hey, that's a big run now, 90 feet away with 2 outs. Now a wild pitch, a pass ball, or even a balk could potentially score Baez here from third.
What a pickup he's been.
Yes, from Kane County Cougars, him and Josh Allen both. How were they not in the playoff hunt in the American Association? That's what I want to know.
Here's Riley Crane. He takes a curveball low.
And Riley Crane, the whole season, has been the power threat and one of the guys who's been an RBI machine. So what a guy you want to have out.
Tying run at third base with 2 outs. The 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. Chased a fastball around the letters. 1-1. Crane 0 for 3 tonight.
The other 2 tiebreakers.
Oh, goodness.
The third one would be a head-to-head record against the rest of the division.
And then a home run derby in a random site.
The fourth one.
The 1-1 pitch is lined into center field. Diving attempt. It gets down and away from the center fielder. All the way to the wall. Crane might have himself an inside the Parker. He's around third. Here comes Crane. The throw to the plate. Crane dives in. He's safe and inside the park. Home run for Crane. And the Otters take a 5-4 lead in the 7th. My goodness, all with 2 outs.
What a situation for the Otters. And Jeffrey Baez keeping the inning alive. He gets to third, and then he could have been at first base and still scored on that. My goodness.
We'll have to see how they officially rule that.
Right.
I mean, if you're the center fielder, man, you can't let that ball get by you.
But then again, that was a rope, though, so are they going to...
I think that has to be inside the park because he dove for it, which is not ordinary effort.
Wow, 5-4 Evansville in the 7th, all with 2 outs.
Yes, it is a home run.
Inside the
ball
home run.
is inside here. Riley Crane.
Which I believe will be his 17th on the season in total.
A 2-run shot.
Which increases where he stands in the league leaders. Has a few more to get to the top. But.
What a change in events in the last 3 minutes of this game, I tell you what.
First 2 batters were retired, and then a walk to Allen, RBI triple by Baez, and a 2-run inside the park home run by Crane. It's 5-4 Evansville. The 0-1 is low to Davis, 1 ball, 1 strike.
And kudos to the catcher. Trying to, Nieto, frame it for the home plate umpire, but momentum's on the side of the Otters.
Swing and a miss here by Davis, and the count is 1-2. JR is 1 for 3 tonight.
And then real quickly, this is the one that I think the 4th tiebreaker would be a 1-game playoff the day after the regular season ends at a site to be determined by the coin toss of the commissioner.
So we could, in theory, have a tiebreaker game at Bosse Field on September 13th.
97.
Oh, man.
Like the game 163.
No, hey, I'm all for it. I'm all.
And if there's 3 or more, the winning percentages of all the tied teams. Second one, 3 or more would be winning percentage against other teams.
Think of all the logistics involved in that tiebreaker game, if that in fact.
Non-playoff team winning percentage would be the 3rd one if there's 3 or more, which is still a possibility with the Miners and Y'alls and the Otters. Could you imagine though, at game 97?
2-2 is a count here on J.R. Davis. He got a piece that last pitch, which clipped the catcher Arturo Nieto.
I'd still get paid for that, right? Even though my contract states the 96 game rate. Right?
I knew that question was coming.
Hey. Deuces are wild, Jevin.
2 count, 2 outs, nobody on. The pitch. Whoa, inside. Spinning out of the way is J.R. Davis and a full count. Man, Seltzer came in, got the first 2 guys out, and then saw a lot of pitches trying to get that 3rd out here, the 7th.
That lime green shirt behind home plate. Bright. Might be in the pitcher's eye.
26 pitches so far for Seltzer here.
Payoff pitch, jammed in, fouled off third base side. Can I start a rant about something?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Can I hate? I can hate whatever I want, but I hate unnecessary group chats. Not group chats as far as like with friends and stuff, but just
mute them.
So here's the payoff pitch to Davis.
This might be for the 8th inning.
Line drive into center field, and the inning continues. So now 4 straight Otters have reached.
Toward the bottom of the 7th.
And this is the same way it worked, too, with the reply all email. Like, it's just not necessary. So just got a text message, invited to a Halloween party on the weekend before Halloween, October 3rd. There's 17 people in this group chat. I mean, I know like 5 of them. Everybody else's number I don't know. And now everyone's responding, thanks, sounds fun. I'll see you there. So-and-so liked an image. Okay, cool. Like, why?
You don't know the numbers, but my question is, where is this party so I can dye my hair white and wear my red sweater and go as Bobby Knight, which was my go-to in high school?
Well, the Miners make a pitching change, so I'll tell you off the air. Otters have had a wild 7th with 2 outs, a walk, an RBI triple, a 2-run inside the park home run from Crane, now a single by Davis. It's 5-4 Evansville, top of the 7th on the Otters YouTube channel.
We love our kids and want them to be healthy. After all, a healthy child can make for a happy child. That's why Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield offers health insurance for children up to age 18 at low or no cost. From doctor visits to dental care, Anthem is here to put resources at your fingertips and simple solutions within your reach. And that is something to smile about. Call 1-800-403-0864 to enroll today. To learn more, visit anthem.com/inmedicaid.
Getting ready and keeping fit for baseball season is hard work. That's why you'll find Evan at Bob's Gym. Getting fit, having fun, being an Otter. Be like Evan. Try a free 3-day pass at Bob's.
What?
Joey Polito takes over for the Miners, trying to get the 3rd out of the 7th inning. Otters in front 5-4 now. The batter is Miles Gordon. And the pitch to him is inside, ball 1. So Stalzer comes in, gets the first 2 guys out, then a walk to Allen, RBI triple to Baez, 2-run inside the park home run by Crane, and a single by Davis. Polito's numbers, Zane, are what?
1.73 ERA coming in, 41 2/3 innings pitched. He has 46 strikeouts. Check that, 48 strikeouts on the year.
Inside the park home run. I think we've seen just about everything this season, it feels like.
A steal of home.
And now the pitcher tying his shoes on the rubber.
He could have done this before coming in from the bullpen, Mr. Polito.
I bet for those in center, probably a lot of frustration and a lot of hand banging on the desk going on.
Yeah. It's the end of the world.
Are the windows still intact?
Especially the inside the park home run.
I'd like to hear that call. There's a swing and a miss. Counts even 1-1.
You're telling me, wouldn't that be something to pay for front? If you're on the fence at this point about getting a FrontierLeagueTV.com subscription, to hear that call would be the incentive to get one.
Here's the 1-1 pitch to Miles Gordon. Man at first base, 2 outs. He takes side 2-1. Can I get an amen though on the group chat? I mean,
yes.
I
mute a lot of group chats.
The reply all email too. Right on, Debbie. I agree with you. Right on.
Debbie's always listening.
The 2-1 pitch is a little flare. Hits the left side, and the third baseman backing up Walters makes the catch. But Evansville scores 3 runs in the 7th, all with 2 outs. Again, highlighted by the 2 run inside the park, home run by Riley Crane. It's time to stretch. We'll keep it here. Otters in front of the Miners 5-4. Here is Zane Cloudfelter as he is literally stretching to sing Take Me Out to the Ballgame.
And we are literally here at Bosse Field. There's nobody here, but I need everybody to stand up, stretch, and sing wherever you are. Take me out to the ballgame. Here we go. A 1, a 2, a 3. Take me out to the ballgame. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. I don't care if I never get back, and we'll root for the Otters. If they don't win, it's a shame, for it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Nicely done. Now let's get some insurance runs, Jevin and Preston.
5-4 Otters, home half the 7th on the Otters YouTube channel. Miners bat in the 7th, now trailing once again 5-4, and it's the top of the order for the Miners. Bryant Flette digs in. He takes outside ball 1 from Tyler Spring. To recap the game, Miners scored a run in the first. Otters got a single tally in the second and third. They led 2-1 all the way until the 6th inning. Miners scored 3 runs in the frame to go at 4-2, but the Otters bounced back and scored 3 in the top of the 7th, and they have a 5-4 lead. Flette batting for the 4th time tonight. The 1-0 pitch is a little bit low, 2-0.
Jevin 5-10-1 for the Otters so far, as we're leading off here at the bottom of the 7th, 4-5-2 for the Miners.
It's been an exciting last couple of innings here at Rent One Park in Marion, Illinois. Flette has walked, struck out. He's also bounced out to second, and the 2-0 pitch to him is right down central. Call a strike, 2-1, a fastball from Tyler Spring as he took over after Grossman went 5 1/3. That open stands from Flette, the Miners' second baseman. 2-1 offering. Here's a pop-up. It's on the left side of the infield. The shortstop to Jesus. Couple of steps off that infield turf, which would be the dirt part, makes the catch. That's the first out of the 7th.
And as you mentioned, Grossman in that 5 1/3, giving up the 3 earned runs on 5 hits, struck out 6 and walked 4. The last couple of walks are what chased him from the game, and then one of those ended up scoring.
So brings in Nolan Early, who's 0 for 3. He's bounced out to second twice, and he struck out in the 3rd. The righty Spring from the belt, kicks and pitches. Low ball 1. The next to Early. Inside. Hunters still have Baez in left, Gordon in center, McNamee in right. The infield of Mattis, DeJesus, Allen, and Crane, with Felix behind home plate. The tall righty sets. Early, who has 10 home runs on 2-0, checks a swing and takes on the corner.
And as the season goes on, there's a lot of good players in this league, but I think for sure Riley Crane deserves to be in the MVP conversation for the Frontier League.
The 2-1 pitch to Early. Low ball 3 and no walks late in the game. Those walks will come back to kill you. Otters walked in a run in the 6th. Walked a guy back in the 1st. That came around to score.
I know you got the likes of Neaporte for Schaumburg, Crayport for Florence.
There's a walk.
Hernandez in New York.
On a more positive note, Preston, did you bring up yesterday the birthday of one of our favorites?
That is correct. Yesterday, Jordan and I brought up on the air a special wish of happy birthday to Boots Day, 74.
Carl Smead just sent a Facebook message to our Facebook account and said, "Happy birthday, Boots." So we say happy belated birthday, Boots Day, now 74 years and 1 day old.
And he will be done at the end of this year, retiring.
Bill Lee, Commissioner Emeritus, breaking that news to all of us at the ballpark a couple weeks ago.
Runner at first base, 1 out. Batter is Ariel Sandoval, who's walked and scored. He's also struck out twice. Pickoff attempt over at first base, and Early dives back in safely. It's 5-4 Otters in the 7th.
Boots Day, his school on Baseball Reference, Mohawk Valley Community College in Utica, New York.
I remember when I was trying to...
Here's a fly ball hit out towards center field. Moving over is Miles Gordon. Plenty of room. He makes the catch in right center field for the 2nd out.
Get a couple of quotes from Boots about his decision here at the end of the season. I said, "Are you sure?" And, because I didn't want to be stuck in a situation like Brett Favre, where he's going back and forth from retirement and not. But also because Boots is so ingrained into the baseball community and his life in baseball that for him, I'm sure it's probably tough to finally step away from the game.
Made his MLB debut with the St. Louis Cardinals June 15th, 1969. Appeared in 11 games that year for the Redbirds.
With 2 outs, the batter is Jamie Smart. He has a pair of singles tonight. He's also driven in a run. He represents the go-ahead run at the plate with 2 outs in the 7th.
Who at the time were the 2-time reigning pennant National League champions. Off of 67 and 68, winning the World Series in 67 against the Red Sox, but falling in 7th to the Tigers in 68.
The 1-0 pitch is on the outside corner. Counts even, 1-1.
Not getting tired on us, are you? The night is still young. There's a new pop song about that came out like 5 years ago that's still new to me.
Always say the night is young, depending on what time you get up.
It is.
Here's the 1-1 to Smart. Runner at first base, 2 outs. The pitch is fouled off third base side.
Yeah. I know Jevin gets up before both of us, but for me, even 8 o'clock comes early after late night post-game work.
8:30 for Zane. We know that now.
Good Morning America, and we're 13 minutes away from not being able to get GD Ritzy's ice cream anymore. So
that was good the other night. By the way.
Yes.
Yeah, Jordan and I talked about that last night. Brought that up. If he got his, he said you went and got yours.
Yeah.
So.
Everybody's happy.
Speaking of GMA, were you up in time to see their big surprise for Michael Strahan this morning?
I was not, because I was actually working by that time because I was woken up with a couple of urgent text messages from Tell City. What was the surprise?
So some of his former...
Oh, here's a drive down the right field line, hooking toward the pole, and it is a foul ball.
His
that
former
ball is smoked.
Teammates Eli Manning.
Okay, from the Giants.
Justin Tuck.
Okay.
And I think Jesse Armstead was the last one, I believe. I can't remember. They basically unveiled to Strahan on set that his number is going to be retired by the Giants in November.
Fantastic.
Which, to me, is a long time coming, I would feel like, for Michael Strahan.
Right, he's already in the NFL Hall of Fame, correct? Yeah.
And because Eli's is getting retired in September.
As I should say, Professional Football Hall of Fame, not the NFL Hall of Fame in Canton. Well, the quarterback always gets the notoriety and the publicity first.
2-2 pitch to Smart is a swing and a miss. Tyler Springs strikes him out and strands that one-out walk at first base. So we're through 7 in Marion. Otters in front of the Miners 5-4 on the Otters YouTube channel.
Fix up your home with Heritage. Our home improvement financing options can help you change your home now and pay for it over time. Upgrade your home. Make home repairs. Remodel a kitchen. Build a new deck. Add a new room. Remodel your bath. Update appliances. Whether it's a small weekend project or a large renovation, Heritage Federal Credit Union can help you finance your improvements today. Fix up your home with Heritage.
Before you danced the first dance. Before you walked down the aisle. Before the tables were set with care. Before you penned a single invitation. Before the day that went beyond your wildest expectations. There was the little green box from Brinker's Jewelers for befores and happily ever afters.
Ladder 3 due up for the Otters in the 8th inning as Evansville is in front 5-4 with St. Cloudfelter, Preston Lonnerbach. I'm Jevin Redmond. Elijah McNamee digs in. He's 0 for 3 tonight. He drove in a run his first time up with the ground out to short. And the pitch from Polito is, wow, on the inside corner, called a strike, 1-1. Did you guys see how far inside that was? He called it a strike. What in the world?
That's a Zane Cloudfelter type of strike zone right there.
It is. I am for an expanded strike zone because I think the quality of the game gets better with that.
Here's a ground ball up the middle, and it knocks the pitcher's glove off. Underhand toss to first. The Otters just need to stop hitting the ball hard at the middle because it always results in an out. That's some tough luck.
And especially for McNamee, he has to be thinking, what do I have to do to get one?
Yeah, that was hit on a rope. The glove fell off the hand with so much force.
In the last week or two, he has, made some good contact. He's just not finding any space to work with. And as a batter, that has to be frustrating because you think, well, maybe I need to make an adjustment. He doesn't need to make an adjustment. He needs to just keep doing what he's doing, and eventually he'll get the breakthrough because just can't buy a break at the plate.
In time for Justin Felix to atone for the 3 strikeouts earlier today, although that first pitch swinging and missing, Jevin, not a good start.
Yeah, Felix is 0 for 3 with 3 Ks.
Just the facts.
Yeah. The wind and the pitch. Check swing. I think he held up. First base umpire says he did. Counts even 1-1. Polito is the 3rd pitcher for the Miners tonight. Cunningham started the game. Then it was Stelzer who got the first 2 guys out, then allowed 4 straight to reach. They brought in Polito, and he's still in the game. Here's a swing and a miss, and Felix is behind the count, 1-2.
Stelzer giving up 3 earned runs on 3 hits in 2/3 of an inning with a walk. Faced 6 batters, and he gave up the inside the park home run to Riley Crane.
The Crane train.
Literally on the base pass.
And a swing and a miss, and Felix strikes out for the 4th time tonight. There's 2 away.
Really, he's a locomotive, but it doesn't rhyme. So,
what is the term? It's the golden sombrero for 3 strikeouts, right?
It's a hat trick for 3. It's the golden sombrero for 4.
So, well,
If he gets to 5, it's platinum.
Hey, we got a mention on Twitter from Shelly Crane. She says, thanks for the great play-by-play on YouTube tonight. All 8 of us loved it on as far as the inside the park home run.
Great. So we have at least 8 listeners outside of our immediate families.
I'm taking that tweet as, hey, it was a thank you, but also maybe a little of sarcasm mixed in there. All 8 of us loved it. I mean,
he could have a big family. We don't know. Hey, positives for the comments from Shelly Crane, and she bought us cookies earlier this season, so we appreciated that earlier in the year, and we appreciate her listening in right now.
Here's a pitch inside to DeJesus. Yeah, Crane's inside the park home run came in the 7th with 2 outs. That gave Evansville a 5-4 lead. Smoked a ball to center. Maine kind of dove for it, got by him, and Crane was off to the races. Here's a check swing by DeJesus. It glances foul, third base side.
Was Riley Crane the batter where I referenced a home run, and you said if I was going to call it, and I said I was begging for it, and
that was Baez, but he got you an RBI triple out of it.
Okay.
So it was close.
Okay,
yeah.
Close enough.
Now, Devin actually called a play the other day before it actually happened.
Yeah.
He's that good, ladies and gentlemen.
Lucky every once in a while. Here's a ground ball up the middle. Shortstop to his left. That's Yeltsin Godinho, and he throws out to Jesus a 1-2-3/8. Miners bat in the 8th. Otters in front, 5-4 on the Otters YouTube channel.
If you're looking for a liquor store in Evansville, look no further than Liquor Locker. The Liquor Locker has the best selection at the best prices, including the largest craft beer and bourbon selection in the area. Our friendly and knowledgeable staff will help you find the beer, wine, and liquor you need for any occasion. And check out the fine selection of cigars at all Liquor Locker stores. Liquor Locker is now open Sundays 12 to 8 p.m. and offers citywide delivery. Visit one of our 10 conveniently located stores in the Evansville area today. There is always something for everyone at the Liquor Locker.
Cheer up, Evan. This rain will be out soon. You should download the 14 First Alert app and see for yourself. You can see what's coming up to 7 days in advance, or you can break it down hour by hour. Check out live radar so you can see what's happening in real time. And you can watch 14 News live directly from the app. See, there's nothing to worry about.
Stay in the game with the 14 First Alert app.
Home half the 8th inning. Good one tonight in Marion. The Otters lead the Miners 5-4. Glad you could join us wherever you're listening from. However many you're listening with saying Claude Felter, Preston Linebach. I'm Jevin Redmond. 5, 6, and 7 up for the Miners. Mang, Walters, and Brocado. It's been a fun game so far.
It could be 8 fans or 8,000 fans. No, it's just a number.
Hey,
Yeah, the attendance could be 1010 or it could be 10,000.
It's just a number. I always say if one person's listening, we made their night, then that's all that matters.
If one person's listening, then us being here at Bosse Field, coming up on 10 o'clock with nobody else here, is worth it.
It's almost time for the flashing stoplight.
It is.
Those who
snap our fingers at 10 o'clock and bam.
That'll be fun.
Let's all do it.
I got a view on it. Augie Gallardo is in the game now.
Number 36, right?
Augie. First pitch in for a strike to Mang, who is 2 for 3 tonight.
Which would mean I would assume Sawyer would be the 9th inning guy, which Bulls finishing out the game after O'Reilly last night. All the key guys should be available to come out tonight for the bullpen.
Gallardo a breaking ball to Mang, 0-2. Well, if you could be efficient the last 2 innings, you would avoid going through the heart of the Miners order. You're at the 5th slot right now. We'll see what happens. The 0-2 pitch is a little flare down the right field line, foul.
Jevin, a FrontierLeagueTV.com scoreboard update for you. They're going to the bottom of the 9th, and the Florence Yalls leading the Windy City Thunderbolts 6-4 after Florence got an additional tally in that top half.
That is not a good scoreboard update, Zane.
I'm sorry. I blame Steve Tassler.
0-2 pitch is outside to Meng, 1-2.
It's just what FrontierLeagueTV.com is telling me. Subscribe for that playoff push while you can.
1 ball, 2 strikes on Meng, who has 8 home runs on the season. He takes outside. The count's even 2-2 on the right-handed slugger. It was Grossman, then Spring, and now Gallardo. 2-2 pitch. A fly ball in the air. Center field backing up a few steps is Gordon. He's got a beat on it. 1 away. Meng now 2 for 4.
Augie Gallardo, again, since he's been acquired by the Otters, has done valiant work for Evansville. That ERA in the 3s. He's pitched 8 innings and change and has struck out over 13 in that. So he's a guy that can produce swing and miss stuff, keep hitters off balance.
Do we get it? Is it on?
Yep, it is. Flashing reds in left field over the left field wall at Heidelbach and Maxwell, ladies and gentlemen.
Here's a swing and a miss by Ian Walters, who has walked, bounced into a double play. That was a 4-6-3 DP back in the 4th, and he has bounced out to second in the 2nd.
So if someone is driving on Heidelbach listening to us right now, just remember flashing red means treated as a 4-way stop.
There's a pitch low to Walters, counts even 1-1.
And as someone who's colorblind, I hate the flashing red and flashing yellows because I can't tell the difference. So I just slow down the whole time, both ways.
Here's the 1-1 to Walters. Foul ball, third base side, 1-2.
Yeah, I went down the road the other day. Had some flashing lights that were, I think, because of a glitch or maybe a power outage of some kind. Some people were not treated as a 4-way stop, so
they must be colorblind like me.
Glad I was the vigilant one, at least. You gotta be careful, even especially downtown, the one-way streets. You got, even though it says basically you have to look one way. Still probably best to look both ways.
There's an Ireland, Indiana, and I know this from refereeing in Jasper. There's a line and box signage there, and there's also a Radomski signage there as well. There's a flashing yellow there, but leaving Jasper, I always cut over through Ireland to get to the interstate. That always throws me off.
Yeah, because in fact, the other day, going over here toward the Loy Expressway, and I think it was Governor, car going the wrong way. Elderly person being very careful behind the wheel, but yet going the wrong way. But
you're not going to take my license if I live to 90, I tell you that much.
But you are right, the Leinenbach Tire Center is
yes, there. And Mike Radomski as well. So
no relation.
Here's a 2-2 pitch to Walters, and a line drive into right field for a base hit. The tying run is on base with 1 out in the 8th inning as Walters picks up his first hit. Have you guys ever accidentally driven down a wrong way street?
Oh yes, all the time.
Like with oncoming traffic?
No.
Yeah, I did that at actually Southern Illinois. One of my first trips over there, and I think it was either when I was with WKU or Evansville.
Hopefully with the Hilltoppers.
Yeah, we're playing the Slookies, and yeah, pulling on campus went the wrong way, and the cars that were coming toward me let me know pretty quickly that I was going the wrong way.
See, in
with the middle finger and the horn.
See, in Southern Indiana, we'd wave at you and offer you like a gift card.
Because, like I said, I gotta be careful when you go downtown to Evansville, even.
See, living downtown, I know the streets.
Yeah, now long enough, because that was probably just when I was first driving.
Okay. Thankfully, Main Street.
Thankfully, nobody was coming. But I figured it out.
Here's the 1-0 pitch. It's outside, 2-0 on Brocado, who has a pair of walks tonight.
And if you've been to downtown Evansville, growing up here, Main Street used to be one way, the opposite direction. Going towards the river, and then they changed it when Ford Center was built to go from the river to the arena.
The 2-0 is a high fly ball in the air, out toward deep center field. Moving back is Gordon on the edge of the track. He makes the catch for out number 2 as Brocado gave it a ride. But he came just a bit short. Back to first base goes Ian Walters. There's 2 away.
But supporting local businesses like I enjoy doing in downtown Evansville along Main Street, I've been to enough of those businesses where I now know the general direction where all the cars on the one-way street are parked. And
right. Now there was I guess kind of toward the south side of town. There's a street that's one way, and it's one way heading north. I was heading on a 2-way east-west road, but when it comes to that one-way street, the east-west is not just straight on. It stops at kind of like a T, and then the other part of it is kind of just a little bit over this way to the right.
Is that Kentucky?
Maybe. So obviously, like, I'm not trying to take the long way around to get, to keep going in the direction I want to go. So I kind of cut it on the one-way street to my right and cut across that way. But
swing and a miss to Arturo Nieto, the catcher, who is 0 for 3 tonight with a strikeout. There's 2 outs in the 8th. Otters in front 5-4 with Ian Walters at first base. And the 0-1 pitch from Gallardo is outside as Felix had to slide to his right to block that ball.
And I dare somebody, if they're coming to Bosse Field to watch an Evansville Otters game, on your way to the ballpark, try to take Division Street from the far east side all the way to Heidelbach, because they'll soon come to find out a lot of Evansville roads are broken up by other bigger roads.
Here's a pitch outside, 2-1 on Nieto. Not much pop in that bat, just 1 home run.
Meaning Division Street heading, it's just the University of Evansville, and there's just a whole lot of things that impact Division Street.
The 2-1 popped up first base side, and counts even 2-2.
Because I guess technically it goes all the way to 69.
It does.
But you have to, the Auto Mall there in the way.
And then you have to get on the Lloyd, and then get off the Lloyd and get back on Division Street, and then the 41 interchange. Yeah, Evansville roads, man. Sewers before stadiums.
2-2 pitch. A broken bat, ground ball, soft hit to the right side. Charging is Allen. Short underhand toss, and the Miners are retired in the 8th inning. They get a 1-out single from Ian Walters. He's left at first base. And after 8 in Marion, it's the Otters 5-4.
Welcome to a place that feels like home. A place that cares about all of you. Built to help you grow in more ways than you could possibly imagine. To make new friends, travel new paths, soar to new heights, and deepen your spiritual experience. Welcome to Oakland City University.
Centerpoint Energy's newest generation of safe, efficient energy includes capturing and harnessing the natural power of pure sunshine. We are increasing solar in our balanced and reliable energy mix as we power our region with more clean, renewable energy. We're bringing a little piece of the sun to every home and business while reducing carbon emissions and helping create a cleaner environment. It's just a little something for your smart energy future.
Top of the 9th inning, in the top of the order to you, it's Gary Mattis. Polito's still in the game for the Miners. He delivers ball 1 to Mattis, batting for the 5th time tonight. Let's have 2 hits. And Zane Clodfelter, you have a final score for us.
Yep.
Is that what you're pointing to?
Yep.
Okay, don't tell us that. All right.
I got confused. I tell you what, yeah, we do have a final score on the FrenchLeagueTV.com scoreboard update for you. Florence did beat Windy City 6-4.
What were you pointing at? I mean, why were you showing me that?
I thought it was a new pitcher for Southern Illinois because his name wasn't Polito, but it was...
Oh, I got you. Okay.
I had the other schema.
Okay.
And it threw me off. And then, you messed up a couple times.
I did that tonight, too.
Okay, so, yeah, my second personal foul, I'll take it. I get 5.
It's a loss of down.
Yeah, it's a loss of down.
The 1-2 pitch is lifted in the air to center field and playable for Jared Mang. He makes the catch. Mattis is 2 for 5. There's 1 away in the 9th.
I'm good for 3 hours. And the moment we hit the 3-hour, 1-minute mark, then I start to struggle, and we're at 3 hours, 4 minutes.
I've been on air for like 7 hours because I had a shift from 3 to 6 at NIN.
Yeah, keep it updated on the weather.
Then I grabbed a bite to eat and came here and hopped on at 7. Yeah, so
where'd you grab the bite to eat?
Oh, I just went to Licks downtown because it was right there.
What'd you get?
You should know this by now. Oh, you don't know my Licks routine, do you?
I don't know.
Kent who knows my routine, yeah. No, I get the spicy ranch chicken quesadilla with a packet of ranch and chips.
Is it bad? And does this make me...
It's a pretty good choice.
Does this make me be like a child where if I go to Licks, I still get the grilled cheese? Just because as a
Not
kid,
really.
I loved it with the chips.
You still ask for the gummy worm on your ice cream, too?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
There's a pitch inside to Allen, and it's a 1-out base runner as Josh is on base for the 3rd time tonight. I've been trying to do one of those things where I really pretty much cut out desserts for the most part. I know we talked about ice cream tonight, but if it's on the weekend, I might do it, but during the weekday, I try not to.
Jevin gets crazy on the weekends, everybody. He has ice cream.
I do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's lit.
I even had a beer last night. I mean, how about that?
What'd you have?
Well, so get this. I asked for a Bud Light, and they bring me the Bud Light, and I'm with the Hall of Famer Scott Treffler, my broadcast partner on Learfield, University of Evansville.
Okay.
And I'm sure Learfield's proud that we're talking about this, so just right on the corner. But we had, okay, let's set the scene. We had a UE caravan last night at Doc Sports Bar, so we talked with a lot of the coaches, and once it was over, hung out and had a good time. But so anyways, they bring me a Bud Light, and there's a Mick Ultra there laying in front of Scott. Scott was not drinking Mick Ultra the whole night. And here's a fly ball in the air to shallow right field. This one might drop, and the second baseman can't get to it. It drops in fair territory. Allen will go to second base, and it's 1st and 2nd with 1 out here in the 9th inning. Otters leading 5-4. So I take a drink of the Bud Light. Scott comes back from the restroom. He sees the Mick Ultra. I won't say exactly what he said, but he said, "What's this Mick Ultra doing?" I don't drink that. I said, "Do you want the Bud Light?" "Yes, I do." "Oh, I've already taken a drink of it." "I don't care." So we swapped and had the Mick Ultra. Your favorite.
Yeah, Mick Ultra's good, though, because it's only 95 calories, where a Bud Light is about 120.
Yeah, I like both, but I made the Hall of Famer happy.
You got to make the Hall of Famer happy. Who is actually from Southern Illinois growing up? Right outside of Carbondale, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
Correct, yeah.
His hometown?
Yep.
Is it Heron, Illinois? I'm going to double check. I feel like that's it. If I wasn't confident, now I'm going to end up getting a 3rd personal foul for being overconfident, but I'm going to look that up.
Here's Riley Crane, a ground ball foul, first base side, strike 1. Riley has the game's biggest hit so far. Back in the 7th, the Otters trailing 4-3, 2 outs, guy at third base. Smoked a ball into center. It got past the center fielder all the way to the wall. And Riley Crane had himself an inside the park home run, his 17th home run of the season. Also RBIs, 71 and 72. This time he's jammed. He grounds it to first base, who throws it into left center field. A run will score on the air at 6-4 Evansville. Oh, he's smart, wound up, and threw that ball way over the shortstop's head into left center field. So fielder's choice E3. A run scores. Otters has some insurance at 6-4.
Really big insurance run there for Evansville here in the 9th. Especially after Florence has already won.
In stands J.R. Davis, the Evansville DH. He's 2 for 4, a pair of singles tonight. Keep on tacking on the pitch. That's 2 high, ball 1.
So Scott Schreffler, it says Marion. He's actually from Marion. So is he a Southern Illinois minor operative? It's 1-1 here with 1 out. It's funny, Jevin, we've had a couple of people in our organization that have been from Marion, and every time I meet them for the first time in our front office, I'm like, are you an operative for the minors? Just trying to spy on us.
Here's the 1-1 pitch to Davis, 2-1. Yeah, I knew.
Double checking the birth dates on our roster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I knew Schreffler was from that area because he always goes and stays with his parents, sees his parents when UE plays in Carbondale. 2-1 pitch to Mr. Davis. Swing and a miss. Folding. Counts even 2-2. When the Miners hit the 9th inning, they'll have 9-1-2 up.
So that first batter will be crucial because you don't want to have somebody on base for that top of the order.
From the stretch position, Polito has a sign he wants. Looks at second, and timeout is called by the batter. When does SNL start? It's coming up, isn't it?
Typically the first weekend in October. So, yeah, we're about a month away, and I haven't seen a new cast list for what would be, I'm pretty sure, the 47th season.
Sounds right, yeah.
Yeah. And I don't think I've seen, like, the early, like, host and music guest list yet.
That's from a couple weeks out, isn't it? Is that when they post it?
Right.
Pitch is high and inside. 3-2 on J.R. Davis. 2 on, 1 out. Evansville in front, 6-4.
Here's the big thing for advertising, it being on NBC, I would assume we would know the start time for SNL and the first host for the NFL opener on NBC next week. They'd probably want to start advertising then with the high ratings.
3-2 pitch inside, ball 4. And the bases are loaded with 1 out. I think that actually clipped Davis. He's down in some pain.
Which I'm looking forward to so much next week. The week 1 slate of games is pretty good.
See, I'm more of a college. I love the NFL as well. But if I just going to all the Indiana Hoosier games instead of, I'm so pumped for even tomorrow night, like 5:30 Central Time, I will have my tablet tuned in to Temple at Rutgers on BTN.
I think I like both the Saturday and Sunday. I think I enjoy the NFL more because there's enough games, but there's not too many games. Like college football, it's hard for me to actually keep track of everything that's going on.
I love it, though.
There's always something going on, but...
And now it's Mac Daddy time in New England.
Yeah. And I don't want to dive into this hole of argument and stuff, but with college football, I mean, for 95% of the teams, how important is that game?
Hoosiers have a pretty important game
They do. They do. Yeah.
17th
I think I saw the lines, 3 in favor of Iowa?
It's 3, yeah. But you get 3 points for being the home team. So if it was a neutral site, according to Vegas, it'd be a pickup.
Yep.
And I'm picking the Hoosiers.
I'm shocked.
I was watching or flipping through the channels. Of course, you know, a lot of the sports channels now talk about the lines in the wagering.
Which I don't know if I like.
And coming across Fox this afternoon, Fox Sports.
First pitch to Miles Gordon with the bases loaded is bounce foul.
One of your favorites, Clay Travis, agrees with you.
Oh, gosh, the guy's still around.
What, that Indiana's going to win?
Taking the Hoosiers and the points,
I hate that. Don't tell. Why did you tell me that on air? Oh, my God.
It's the best thing now about my early gig with Fox Sports in town is Clay Travis is not on there anymore. Here's the 0-1, a ground ball foul, first base side, 0-2.
Not to get really off course, but do you know why Clay Travis is no longer on Fox Sports, right?
Well, he took a different gig where he's in politics now, which is basically what he was with Fox Sports.
Do you know whose gig he actually took, though, right? Rush Limbaugh.
Okay. That's what I thought, but I don't want to sound dumb. But yeah, okay.
The EIB radio network. He is Rush Limbaugh, and I was a Rush listener, but I can't stand Clay Travis.
0-2 pitch is a ground ball foul.
But no, someone at the Otters, our box office manager, left me a couple of gifts, a polo shirt and a book, and the book was Republicans Wear Sneakers Too by Clay Travis, and I still have it, but it's being gifted to somebody else.
Going back to the SNL real quick, could you imagine if they did a sketch So that was another foul ball on the Evansville Otters, depending on the perspective and point of view, of course, where it'd be either on the field or in the behind the scenes. Could you imagine?
We would give the writers and Lauren Michaels a lot of material up in the press box. I tell you, and I have some stories that the writers would be like, wait, that actually happened? Like, yeah, you'd have to fabricate a little bit, but we have material.
Still 2 strikes here on Miles Gordon. Bases loaded, 1 out. And Polito pitches. That's on the inside corner. Strike 3 is called. Good location there, and Gordon strikes out for the second time tonight as he is 1 for 4. Have you decided on the game Saturday with IU and Iowa? Will you watch it on TV or listen on the radio?
I'll listen on the radio to Don Fisher, Buck Schuer, and Joe Smith providing halftime.
So you won't watch it on TV at all?
No, but then again, it's a...
Do you go back and watch it on TV afterwards?
I do, but as a kid, you know, the games I didn't go to at home, the road games, a lot of IU games pre-BTN were not televised, so the only way you could follow was on radio with Don Fisher.
McNamee swings and misses. He's looking for his first hit tonight. He's 0 for 4.
And it's amazing, you know, as a kid, you kind of learn if that's the only option. It was pre-internet, pre-streaming. Like, that was the only way. And so it was listening in the garage or in the backyard by the pool. You just kind of become attached to the routine.
The 0-1 pitch. McNamee swings and misses. 0-2. Well, the Miners mascot still there.
So even this day, you know, I don't live at home anymore, but I will still drive because the Hoosiers are on the road and not in Bloomington, so my dad and I aren't going. I will still drive over to the east side. I'll go to my parents' house, and I'll do what I did when I was a kid and be in their backyard by the pool, listening to Don Fisher and Buck Schuer. All's right with the world.
2-strike pitch to McNamee. That one's outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes on the Otters right fielder.
We all do those things, I think, even in our adulthood, where just a comfort zone where we kind of go back to a childhood moment and try to find that same comfort level.
McNamee waves the bat over home plate, and from the stretch, Polito kicks and pitches. McNamee takes outside, 2-2.
That's a big run over at second base.
Bases are actually loaded. Big run at third base, too.
Well, I'm saying just if you get a base hit here, you get it out of the save situation, but yeah.
The 2-2 pitch to McNamee. Fouled back to the screen. Man, that guy didn't even flinch in the second row. Impressive, or maybe he's asleep.
I mean, the arms are crossed. So
yeah, I mean.
He might be asleep.
Waiting for the head to kind of nod.
Meanwhile, the Grizzly Adams mascot for the Miners, whatever his name is, we'll call him Mr. Magoo. He's 2 rows behind, chatting with the...
McNamee bounces it to third. Tough play. Good pick by Walters. On the run, he throws out McNamee. Good play, Ian Walters. Well, the Miners pick up an insurance run thanks to a throwing error by their first baseman, Smart. Last chance for the Miners. They'll have 9-1-2 up. And, something's going on here at home plate as the runner, Baez, is shouting to the Miners players, and the catcher is kind of moving him toward the third base dugout. I'm not sure what happened.
You can't tell me that both of these teams don't want this series and they want this game. And both, looks like a lot of the people in the Miners dugout come out, the Otters as well. But now they're retreating.
I was going to say, some intensified drama.
Ooh.
Nothing did blow up. But, so we go to the home half of the 9th inning. Otters in front of the Miners, 6-4 on the Otters YouTube channel.
Every 6 minutes, a utility line is damaged due to reckless digging. So Indiana relies on these 811 superheroes. Derek the Builder.
I dig for a living, but I always contact 811.
Mary the Gardener.
Before I plant a tree, I contact 811.
And Mike the Contractor.
I contact 811 before I do my work.
Prevent damage or injury. Call 811 anytime or go online 811now.com. This message is sponsored by the Indiana Utility Regulatory Commission and this station.
Come be a part of a nationally recognized program in criminal justice. The Criminal Justice Program at Oakland City University provides students with in-depth knowledge in the fields of law enforcement, forensics, corrections, and juvenile justice. Learn through hands-on experiences and train in areas of investigative forensics, criminology, and police administration. A career-focused major is in your reach and all in a Christian university setting that feels like home. Oakland City University.
Watkins. Jared Watkins is the pinch hitter to start the 9th inning. Otters in front 6-4, trying to even up this 3-game series.
So Florence won over Windy City 6-4. The Otters leading over Southern Illinois 6-4.
First pitch to Watkins is on the outside corner, a strike from Logan Sawyer. Sawyer trying to get the final 3 outs after Grossman started. Then it was Tyler Spring. Augie Gallardo announced Logan Sawyer. 9-1-2 spots up, but Watkins batting for the first time tonight. 6-4 Evansville. And the 0-1 to Watkins, the left-hander. He takes low in the turf. 1 ball, 1 strike. Flette to follow. Then it'll be Nolan Early if anybody reaches Ariel Sandoval. Looking at the power, Early has 10 home runs. He is due up 3rd. So you'd like to see him come up with nobody on. Otters have a 2-run lead. And the 1-1 pitch. That is upstairs, 2-1 on Watkins.
Chatted with Logan Sawyer last week when the Otters were at home, and he went to the zoo and saw the rhinos. And
you said chatting, right?
Yeah, chatting.
Oh, I thought you just called me Chad. I'm like.
No, I said I was chatting with
okay. I thought you
Logan
said,
Sawyer,
okay.
who's our pitcher, Jevin.
Here's the 2-1 pitch. Foul back.
I didn't hear the insult there.
Talking whatever, and was at the zoo and was talking about how hot it was in Evansville last week, which luckily for him, things have kind of cooled down here across the Midwest. I know pleasant in Marion, Illinois tonight, and really pleasant today in Evansville. You couldn't have asked for a better day on September 1st.
2-2 pitch to Watkins. Slap foul.
From Knoxville, Tennessee, so I'm curious to know if he's a Tennessee fan of Rocky Top.
He has to be, and I hate all of those people.
Rocky Top.
After going to the Gator Bowl. No, I hate that song. Stop it.
Rocky Top, Tennessee.
They were very mean.
It's an awesome campus, though, I will say that.
Talked a lot of trash. No, trust me, Lucas W. Corley told us about the awesome campus.
Strike 3 call on the inside corner. Watkins is down on strikes. The pinch hitter gets rung up. 1 down, 2 to go.
Good pitch. Of course, Sawyer, known for his hard stuff. Takes a little bit off there, a little bit of movement as well. Now, you can't bag on Tennessee too much. They did provide, or produce, should I say, 2 great quarterbacks.
You'll always be.
Dude, I'm not over the Gator Bowl in 2020 in Jacksonville.
One of them, of course, being Peyton Manning. The other one, who he replaced, the former Colorado Rocky Todd Hilton.
Here is Mr. Brian Flette, 0 for 3 with a walk, and he takes inside a fastball from Sawyer, who's pumping it home tonight.
And speaking of which, Preston filled in for me for public address duties for the University of Southern Indiana when I was in Jacksonville the night of the Gator Bowl. Preston was doing PA for USI men's basketball.
And I believe, to finish off the connection there, I think Todd Hilton now is currently back at Tennessee as one of their baseball coaches.
I hope they lose.
Inside corner, called strike, 1-1 on Flete.
Indiana just got a big-time recruit who's a 4-star that put him in the top 5 recruiting class in college basketball for 2022. He was down to Indiana and Tennessee. Chose the Hoosiers.
Got some life advice for you after this 1-1 pitch to Flete.
Not to hold grudges.
The pitch is low, 2-1. Yeah, just let it go. No reason to hold a grudge.
The problem is, after the Gator
Life's
Bowl,
a lot better. No excuses. I don't want to hear it. Just let it go.
It was a night game.
It's over. It's a bowl game. Didn't mean anything. It wasn't a championship game.
The next morning,
you had a good experience.
My flight was at 6 a.m., so I had literally 1 hour of sleep before flying back to Evansville after that loss.
So you slept well on the plane. The 2-1 is a smash out into left center field. He just bat flip on a double.
He did.
Around first base is Flete into second, running in feet first, and he is.
How about that? How about that for a bat flip on a double?
Yeah, that is what you get.
Oh, that is great.
What in the world? Who bat flips down 2 runs on now what is a single? Come on.
Can I see it again, please?
Yeah, come on.
Give it to us.
So that goes as a single, and on the putout, 7-4.
That type of play sustains me.
Well, and that's a big out because now Nolan Early, who has 10 home runs, one of the more powerful guys in this lineup, bats with nobody on 2 outs.
Yeah, it could have been the tying run at the plate.
And a swing and a miss. I mean, what are you doing?
And if he hits a home run here, it's a rally killer anyway.
Well, and also for Flete, I mean, your run doesn't mean anything. I know you want to stay on the double play possibly, but your run doesn't mean anything. You have to be standing up for that to pay off as far as trying to stretch it into double. The 0-1 and the turf, and the count's even 1-1. That was great though. Bat flipped and get thrown out at second.
And you kind of have to be aware if you're the Miners, you're only down by 2 runs. So if you get on first with a single, that still brings Early, as you mentioned, as the tying run. You got to keep things in perspective. There's no need to be that aggressive in this game situation.
So 2 down, 1 to go. Sawyer trying to get the save in the 1-1 pitch. A swing and a miss. He pulled the string on Nolan Early, who's 0 for 3 with the walk. Miners down to the last strike as Evansville trying to keep their game-and-a-half lead over Florence and put the Miners to 3.5 back. This would be a crushing blow for Southern Illinois. Nobody on 2 outs. Otters in front, 6-4. The right-hander Sawyer comes set, and the 1-2 pitch. Checks the swing, takes upstairs, 2-2.
And Preston, what did you say earlier? What is, if the Otters hold on and win here, what would the head-to-head between these two be?
The Otters would lead 9-8. Because it's a total of 18 matchups this year.
Gotcha.
The 2-2 pitch inside, just missed, and the count's full. No walks here. 3-2 on Early with Sandoval on deck.
So obviously, to truly hold the tiebreaker, they would need to finish out tonight and win tomorrow.
Right.
Payoff pitch coming up here to Early, the Miners right fielder. Sawyer from the belt. The 3-2 pitch. Inside, he walked him.
That is not what you wanted. But then again, if you're going to play devil's advocate with a guy like Nolan Early, you would rather be careful and not give him something juicy. But as you mentioned, if he hits a solo home run, it's 6-5. Where now you bring that tying run to the plate.
So the tying run comes up. Ariel Sandoval, their DH, who has 2 home runs in the season. He's driven in 23 tonight. He's 0 for 2. I'm sorry, he's 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts, and he's walked and scored. Sandoval from the Dominican Republic could tie it up with 1 swing of the bat.
Obviously, you got to be careful. He has power, but yet he's more of a free swinger compared to Early. So, obviously, as his numbers show, he is more likely to swing and miss at some bad pitches.
As they say, that 27th out, always the toughest to get. Ball 1 in the turf to Sandoval.
As the Otters try to clock out on this game.
The 1-0 pitch to Sandoval. A line drive into center field for a base hit. 2 on, 2 out, and now what is bat flipping Flete thinking in the first base dugout?
I know. Now you would have quite a different situation if that wouldn't have happened, and he's even on first with a single. You would have a 6-5 game, and you would have the tying run at second base. But luckily for the Otters, if nuts, candy, and butts, and all the jazz there with that saying
Don't
growing
know
up.
how it goes, but okay. Keep on going.
It's a different situation.
Well, now the winning run at the plate is a left-hander in Jamie Smart, who has 2 hits tonight. He's 2 for 4. Struck out his last time up. He also had that throwing error in the top of this inning that allowed Evansville to get that insurance run.
I'm not going to say this is one of the bigger moments of the season to this point. You hate to overemphasize anything, but this is a pretty big moment for both teams.
Thank you, Mr. Obvious.
You're welcome, caller.
Sawyer pitches, and that grabs the inside corner. He gets ahead of Smart, 0-1.
I did enjoy Mr. Obvious making a public address appearance on 90s Night with our friends from Bob and Tom show a couple weeks ago.
No balls and a strike early at second. Sandoval at first base. The big righty Sawyer comes set, the 0-1. Strike 2, knee high, outside corner, good location, and once again the Miners down to the last strike.
I'd give him something to chase. Give him something to chase. Obvious enough for you, Preston.
On deck is Jared Mang, hoping for a chance to bat in the 9th. Otters hoping to get this final out and pick up win number 51. The 0-2 pitch, swing and a foul, first base side.
Ooh, as Brandon would say.
Looking forward to having lunch with Brandon Taylor, our scoreboard operator, who is the human siren, tomorrow. He gets very excited on foul balls and fly balls that he thinks are home runs. But the roof has a part of messing with you too on the sight lines.
Still 2 on, 2 out. 0-2 count on the lefty, Smart. The pitch. Swinging a foul tip, went off the catcher's mitt and to the backstop. So he's still alive.
I like the location where Sawyer has been trying to put it. And a really good job here of just spoiling off pitches.
No balls and 2 strikes. Sawyer kicks and pitches. In the turf. Good block by the catcher, Felix. That's a big block, keeping that tying run at first base.
Yeah, because you don't want the go-ahead run to find himself in scoring position here. Especially if the count runs full and the runners would be going.
Smart had an RBI single back in the first. He is trying to extend this game. 6-4 Otters in the 9th. The 1-2 pitch. A ground ball up the first baseline, foul.
Spoiling off pitch after pitch. Making Logan Sawyer work. Making him earn yet another save for the Otters here in the 9th. And there's a reason why this guy was acquired right before the deadline. It was mentioned earlier in our broadcast. Smart, 13 for 25 as a minor with a home run and 5 RBIs, but well over 500 on that batting average, Jevin.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Jamie Smart represents the winning run at the plate. Otters in front 6-4, and the 1-2 pitch. Fouled to the third base side. He stays alive.
And really driving up the pitch count here for Logan Sawyer. 26 pitches.
At this rate, with this at-bats, just a forewarning to the rest of the office, I may be a little late in the morning. This at-bat keeps fouling off pitch after pitch.
It is 10:37. Do you know where your kids are?
Well, my parents' kids here at the ballpark.
Yeah, Mom and Dad, I'm at Bossy Field. Where else?
Another 1-2 pitch for Jamie Smart. Headed home from Logan Sawyer. Swing and a fly ball down the left field line. Moving over is Baez, and he looks up and makes the catch near the track for out number 3. Ball was hit pretty well out toward left off the bat of Smart, but Baez moved over and around the warning track. He makes the catch and gets the Otters their 51st win of the season. Miners strand 2 in the 9th. 6-4 is the final.
You have really great eyes, Jevin. I was worried off the bat for a second, but you were calm and cool, and that's a really big win for Evansville to win 6-4. And really, I think the star of the game and the play of the game had to be Riley Crane. The inside the park home run after Jeffrey Baez had hit that RBI triple. That was so big because in a matter of moments, the Otters went from trailing and kind of demoralized after the Miners rallied to then suddenly having a lead, and the bullpen Preston held up.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good all-around performance, a nice bounce-back performance. There's Mr. Lizard. As Grossman coming back of a rocky start last week here at home, came out and pitched a really good gem to allow the Otters to stay in the game, take the lead, and again let the bullpen go to work. And obviously some thrilling moments in this game.
Only took 3 hours and 31 minutes as the Otters beat the Miners 6-4 in Marion. Evansville improves to 51-34. The Miners drop to 48-38. So Evansville still a game and a half up on Florence. They're now 3.5 up on the Miners as they will wrap up the 3-game series in Marion as well as the season series tomorrow night at 7:05. Preston Leinenbach and Jordan Fisher will have the call for you right back here on the Otters YouTube channel tomorrow evening. Pre-game show starting at 6:55. So for Preston Leinenbach, Zane Clodfelter, I'm Jevin Redmond. Thank you. It's been a pleasure and a privilege. One last time, the final score from Marion, Illinois. The Otters defeat the Miners 6-4. Good night on the Otters YouTube channel.